if I do.
Covino and Rich.
Are you ready? Honestly, how do I deal with you every day?
Get ready.
Turn on Val on the radio.
Get ready.
Whoa! Yeah!
Holy mother nugget! And holy mother meatball!
I'm the smartest man alive! You're so ridiculous. What? You're such a fool. Get out of here.
No, I'm a disc jockey.
What's a disc jockey?
Turn it up. We're doing the show. Here we go. Covino and Rich.
Let's go!
Yeah! And that's what's up. Yeah. And that's what's up. Yeah. October 11th. Covino and Rich. I'm going to bring it today. This rumor on the street is that I bring it way hard on Fox Sports, but I don't bring it as hard with you here.
It's not a rumor, it's a fact.
All right, well, I'm going to fucking bring it then.
I mean, it's understandable too. I mean,
up.
that's a 1 day a week sort of thing, but your excitement level, ask our boy Damien, he'll tell you. Your excitement level is next level on Fox Sports Radio. So if we just bring just a little bit of that.
These are our supporters.
Yes.
They're paying. I'm going to bring it to new heights.
He's bringing it. Happy Indigenous Peoples Day. Let's be rocking out.
And also,
Christopher Columbus Day.
isn't it? Oh my God! Also, Canadian Thanksgiving.
That's why he was doing that.
I was just making turkey noises.
No, well, you said Christopher Columbus Day, and I said I saw someone on Facebook talking about turkey recipes, and I'm like, yo, stop jumping the gun there, hotshot. I'm like, oh shit, in Canada, that's right, they do it a month earlier. What up, Canada?
What up, Canada?
What up, our peoples? It's Covino and Rich, sports, entertainment, and life, but we talked most of our sports last night on Fox Sports Radio. The podcast link, if you want to hear that in depth or nonsense, Sunday nights on Fox Sports Radio. It's on our Twitter page, our Instagram. All the links are there. Check foxsportsradio.com. Of course, we're going to touch on some of the stuff. I mean, you can't avoid the fight. The fight this weekend was insane.
I thought after the fight was equally awesome when we were playing fun games on Behind the Velvet Rope.
You know what? There's so
I was
much
buzzing, buddy. We were having fun.
So much to get to.
What a freaking Saturday night.
I'm glad you brought that up because here's a guy that says, you know, having edibles every night isn't a big deal. You were wrecked. You get that way every night? That's crazy.
No, I had some drinks with you guys, and I took a little extra.
Oh, well, okay. Fair enough. Fair enough.
Yeah, how much extra?
He had 2 seltzers, but fair enough.
Yeah. I had 2 seltzers.
I hear you. You know what?
Fine.
I was buzzing a little bit just out
fine.
of excitement, I think. I think it takes the wind out of your brain, the oxygen out of your head, and makes you lightheaded when you're going a mile a minute and you're buzzing a little bit. Either way, I hope you enjoyed the weekend, guys. It is Canadian Thanksgiving, so shout out and shout outs to all our Canadian friends. Have a good one. And what is formerly known as Columbus Day is Indigenous Peoples Day today, or as the natives say, fuck you day.
Fuck you.
A day we used to have off, but the kids here aren't off.
Yeah, I left.
The market's open. There was a reminder on my Fidelity account, like, hey, by the way, just reminder, market's open. The bond market's closed, but the
Scam Likely offices are still open.
Left today. I assumed when I got up today, I'm like, I'll sleep in a little bit. That there won't be traffic heading out to Rich's because there's always traffic. Because it's like on non-school days. We cruise, right?
There's no filmer here.
There was traffic.
When there's no traffic, you guys are 13 to 15 minutes away.
Yeah,
Double that with traffic, I guess, right?
Double.
I think that's weak. I think kids should have off regardless.
Right?
Regardless, right, DJ Fitz?
It's
regardless.
It's not my fault that Christopher Columbus killed people.
I was thinking about it because
you're right, little kid.
Here's how co-parenting works with schedules.
Christopher Columbus.
My pickup days from school are Monday, Tuesday, Friday, right? If your kids are off on that school day for, let's say, Columbo Day.
One more thing.
I have to.
I want to celebrate Columbo Day.
Christopher Columbo.
Yeah.
Christy
Is there a
Columbo.
Columbo Day?
Just one more thing. That's not making sense to me.
Just
one more thing.
If your kid happens to be off on that day that you're supposed to pick them up, they're your responsibility for that entire day. So I'm like, well, today's Columbo Day. Do I have Melody all day? And I'm like, oh, wait, the kids have school? What a ripoff.
Hold on now.
What a ripoff.
As far as adults go,
My wife's off.
we may have
ripoff.
lost,
Well,
we may
she's
have
always off on
lost a
Monday.
holiday here or there, but according to our SiriusXM intranet, and I'm sure other major publicly traded companies, we now have like other days, like mental health days and other more progressive
you should take
things.
those.
Mental health days?
You should take those.
What does that mean?
You both should.
Not
What
spot
does
though.
that mean? No, because
Saying-
he's got
I
it all
don't. He's
together.
saying cuckoo's
No,
nest, cuckoo's
I'm saying
nest,
I don't get them anymore.
cuckoo's
But
nest,
you should
cuckoo's
take
nest.
them.
Yeah, you know what I did realize, not that I'm complaining, just explaining. On SiriusXM, it's just further proof that I guess you could say hard work pays off because we're still employed there in some capacity and money's good.
Speak for yourself.
However, there are people.
Hard work does not pay off.
There's people that work there that I feel like take off all the time. I feel like I'm constantly filling in for people and doing things.
I
I'm
mean,
like, I never take off.
Are you serious?
I feel like
I've had a serious conversation about this with management. I'm like, what gives? And how are they full time? I did a whole rant, thanks for watching, on our Behind the Velvet Rope Patreon, specifically about this and the work ethic involved.
Sauna of Rage?
On the Sauna of Rage.
Oh.
I went in depth on our Patreon, Sauna of Rage, about exactly what you say.
well, you know what it's about. I have the answer for you, just to not bore people, but I have the answer.
People don't like to work.
No, I have the answer. The answer's simple.
You don't have the answer, Sway.
I have the answers. In fact, I'm fired up today. I'm going to bang on this table all day.
Don't waste it all today.
I have today off. EJ Reed. Oh, look at that. You can chill with us for the morning
Today's
and then move on.
I believe it's a government holiday because the VA.
Well, how did the schools not acknowledge that?
That's what I don't understand. Are the
Well-
banks open? I got to go do some banking.
Here's the answer to your question.
I don't. But
I don't know if this is
who goes to the bank?
cross industry. I don't know if this is just the radio world we grew up in. You were conditioned as a young boy in radio in your 20s.
I was just a little boy.
It's just a little boy.
Just
Dad.
a little boy.
It's just a little boy.
That like what matters is what's on the air. And no, you don't take off. You don't take sick days. You're on the radio. And then you rationalize with yourself, I got to be pretty fucking sick not to be able to go in for a couple hours and just talk.
And you don't even have to go in.
And now you don't need to go in. Exactly. So
What gives?
I think the old school people still have that work ethic, but some don't. I think what happens is you start working for a company,
Wait a
and
second.
when the company
Wait a second.
goes,
Are you saying that some do, but some don't?
I mean, when you say it like that, it seems like I'm not really making a point.
No, you said
But what I'm saying is,
I got
I
the
think
answer.
there's still
some
people-
do, some don't.
well, dummy.
Wait, so you're saying some do, but those that
That's like
do,
saying it might
those that
rain
don't
today,
do,
but
don't.
it might not.
So if they do, it's either you do or you don't.
Well, there's a 50% chance of
I'm
rain.
confused.
What does that mean?
It means that there's a 100% chance of rain in 50% of the
Yeah.
area.
Well-
did you know that?
Yeah. So
It means it's going to rain,
I knew that.
but only in 50% of the
So-
viewing area.
here's the thought. The thought is that
I learned that this year.
there's some people that stick to their old school guns, which is like, I'm feeling a little sick, but I can still do it.
A Smith & Wesson?
I can still
A
work.
Colt 45?
I'm going to stick to my old guns. Good one, Spot.
One of those
and
old shotguns?
there's other people that are like, hey, you know what? I've done this a long time. What does I mean? What do I see what my contract says? All right, I get 4 weeks vacation, 10 sick days, a couple personal days, and I'm going to fucking use them all. Other people like you're not in that mindset. I'm not in that mindset, stupidly. A lot of people are not in that mindset. Like, I'm just going to work hard. Other people are like, let me see here in my contract. It says here, I got, I haven't used any of my sick days or personal days or mental health days and my vacation days. Oh, I worked on a holiday, which means I get another swing holiday whenever I want it. You never use those.
I mean, shame on me.
Shame on you, shame on me. So the people that actually
You
do
really should
use
take
those days
You really should take those days.
benefit. Companies don't care about you. Key is right. And that's just the truth. And that's no knock on anywhere we worked. You're just a number and a person. As the old stupid meme goes, your body won't even be cold yet, and they're already putting your job up online to replace you.
That being
It's
said,
so
I got
true.
I got a nice hefty payout for all the vacation days I didn't use.
Yeah, I thought I did, but I have to pay it all back apparently. So anyway, it's
Oops.
Covino and Rich.
The point is, if you have off today, embrace it.
me tell you.
Use your sick days, use your vacation days. Because if you work hard, the whole point of those days is so you could refresh and do your thing.
I think it really is an old school mindset. I think that we are conditioned that way to like feel like taking off is bad, or you're missing something, or you're not showing.
Yeah, our parents
proper work
brainwashed
ethic.
us to work hard.
Yeah, like you,
Shame on them.
You have to be there 80 hours a week, or it means nothing.
It's my
The younger generation, I feel like, just doesn't give a shit, and they're taking off even more days than they have.
Spot. It's my father-in-law's mentality, not Sarah's dad. Sarah's stepdad, Mike, hardest working guy I know.
He's
Well, Rich, you know, you just
his thumbs are like sandpaper.
you make a living, you put your head down, you work hard, and like he lives a nice middle class life. But Mike doesn't invest his money because he just keeps it in the bank. Mike probably never took a day off in his life. You know why? Because I'm not a lazy man.
I imagine him stuffing his mattress.
It's that old school mentality that
I don't trust the banks.
probably gave you great work ethic, but as you get older, you're like, fuck, why is everyone else using like sick days and personal days? And meanwhile, I don't.
My wife is a floater, not a big turd. She's a floater.
Is that when you stick your penis in and don't move?
Yes.
Is that called floating?
It is. At her, in the Mormon world, at her job, apparently.
Hold on,
did you know?
hold on, Spot. Don't
Did you know there's a
don't
new
move, Spot.
No. Did you know there's a new trend? There's a new trend amongst the Mormons.
Wait, hold on.
So let's say, Rich, let's say that you wanted to have sex, but you can't because you're Mormon. So you and Sarah, you would float with Sarah, right?
Yeah.
And then Rich or Steve would come in next to you on the bed and jump up and down and simulate motion. So you're not having sex, but you're moving. So it feels like you're having sex, even though you're still floating.
Is that considered a threesome?
I
If
don't know.
Covino comes
I
in and
think
jumps
it's a
on the
Mormon
bed while I'm
threesome.
having sex?
Guys are gross.
Well, you're always having a threesome with the Lord. But my wife's a floater, and her job is to float around and cover different services at the hospital. And she says, like, I feel like I'm always covering for the same people. And I'm pretty sure they're out of vacation days. And it comes a point where when you're out of vacation days, you can't just take more vacation days. They don't pay you, and they don't pay your benefits.
My whole gripe is, and I went on this rant again, Behind the Velvet Rope, look it up. It was one of my last sauna of rages. It's a double-edged sword because I'm grateful for all these people taking off because I get paid and I reap the benefits.
Is that called soaking?
However, I really don't reap the benefits because I have no benefits. So basically, they're giving benefits and paying people for these full-time responsibilities, yet they're the ones taking off all the time, and I'm hogging up and eating up all the hours with no benefits. It makes no sense at all. So eventually, I got to say, hey, company, whatever company it is you work for, they're full-time taking off all the time. I'm part-time working all these extra hours. Something's not right. It's the strobe light. Where's my benefits? I need dental. Anyway, enjoy your day off. Indigenous Peoples Day.
Not medical.
Formerly known as Christopher Columbus Day. He's a dirty word.
No, it's
Fuck
only,
him, I guess.
It's only Indigenous Peoples Day here. I think everywhere else it's still Columbus Day.
Well, again, I want to talk about products of your environment later, but I do want to acknowledge the fight this weekend.
Oh, I thought you were going to say Christopher Columbus. We should acknowledge him. He's sailed the ocean blue in 1492.
I mean, he probably was a shitty guy, but most people were back then.
Yeah,
so,
I mean, shitty compared to what standard?
Honestly,
That's,
I mean,
like
he
what
probably
standard?
was the worst.
He raped and pillaged.
Was he the shittiest of all the shitty people?
That's why he's famous. So the fight this weekend was
raped and
insane.
pillaged.
We talked about it in depth behind the velvet rope. We did a live play-by-play.
Pirates of the Caribbean was like the #1 trilogy or whatever, how many movies they made. You know, pirates raped and pillaged, right?
Yeah, it was
and you're
bad.
celebrating pirates?
It was bad. We're going on the Pirates of the Caribbean ride at
Andy Van Slyke?
at Disney, right? And
They're copping a feel on some titties.
if you really
What are you saying about Willie Stargell?
if you good Pirates references, if you go to the ride in
Cecilio
Disney,
Guante? Remember?
you had his card. Great card, yeah. Wait, is that Roberto Clemente? No, Cecilio Guante. So I listened to you.
You remembered.
Pirates, if you go on the ride at Disney, when you go through the little old school motion little figurines, the pirates are chasing the women and they're like, no! Like,
Not anymore.
They're raping
They
them.
took that out.
Yeah.
They took the little...
Yeah.
Oh, look at that.
They took that out. That was a story a few years ago.
By the way, I'm looking at the feedback. We're getting so much great feedback. It's moving too fast for me because I saw Lisa made a great point, and she said there used to be a sense of pride in being the hardest worker. Now being the hardest worker, you're almost like the dope.
You're an idiot.
Or like the butt sniff. Yeah, like, look at this guy.
Like, there are people that the younger generation, and I know this is a stereotype, but there are people that, like, work a day in a job, and they're like, this isn't for me, and they just leave.
I don't think it's making fun of generations. I think it's a old school mentality, which was work hard and you'll get to the top, is no longer. And it's not a matter of don't work hard. Everyone should still work hard, but listen, we would like the same way we were told 9 to 5, Monday through Friday. It's just that's an arbitrary number and an arbitrary amount of days. And you're just so conditioned to think these things that as you get older, you're like, you know what? Like, don't use your vacation days. Show the boss you're in it to win it. No, fucking use your vacation days. I don't know.
Use them.
Yeah.
Don't abuse them. And enjoy your day off if you happen to have one. Kids are in school here on the west side.
Willie Stargell, another good dad bod based on our conversation last night on Fox
That was
Sports.
my mom. That's my mom chiming in on my dad's account. Which is so odd. It's like, Dad, don't let mom use your account. Let her get her own account.
Wait, is it always been your mom?
I don't know.
Because if that's the case, I apologize, Ten.
If you're just
I've
listening,
said some nasty things.
So you've been fighting with Covino's mom?
If you're
sorry,
just
Ten.
listening
She's been nasty too then.
on the YouTube chat, no, I don't think it's all the time. I don't even know. I wasn't sure. There's people chatting on the YouTube account as we stream live on Tier 2, and my mom is chiming in under my dad's name with some feedback. And she said, Willie Stargell, great dad bod, because we had a dad bod conversation on Fox Sports Radio last night. Like elite athletes who are unassuming, a la Tyson Fury, who is probably the number one answer today.
A la Bartolo Colon and Kirby Puckett
Willie
and all these great
Stargell
guys.
is one of those OG, for sure, dad bod legends. But
Your dad or mom said, go scratch.
It's definitely my mom. Go scratch your ass in Macy's window.
That's your mom.
It used to be Bamberger's window, but there's no such
It was
thing.
always kiss my ass in Macy's window. My grandfather would say
right
that.
now it's Macy's window.
So Anthony's saying everyone's expendable, and other people are chiming in saying you still have to work hard and be productive. But the idea of like long hours and like no vacation, that mindset's done. So hard work and getting the job done is never old fashioned. You get what I'm saying? You follow that?
Yes, I'm
Get the
a
job
little old
done.
school. OS for life.
Get the job done. Be a great worker. Be productive. But that doesn't equate to long hours, no vacation.
Yeah, I think
You could take short hours, ton of vacation. But if you're good at what you do and still get the job done.
I hope that the past year has put a reset button on the crazy like work obligation that people feel. And I don't mean like actually doing your job, but I mean all the extra layers of bullshit. It's like people.
Again, we're talking double-edged sword. Like,
your
job doesn't care about you, but you know what? What do you do without that job?
Think of all the time
You got
used
to
to
be
waste.
grateful that you are able to make money and have a job. I was in the elevator with some schlub that lives in my building, and he was like, "Where are you headed off to?" And I'm like, "I'm gonna get a haircut. How about you?" He goes, "Oh, well, I'm just hard at work editing today, just trying to pick up any work I can." I was like, "Editing? What do you do?" He's like, "Well, yeah, I work in TV." And
Do you want a job?
I was like, "Oh, cool. So do I." I was like, "I do radio and TV." He's like, "Oh man, it's good to have a job." Like the guy's struggling. So again, enjoy your time
he
off.
lives in the same
And
building as you.
they don't care about you. Yeah, but he's probably not paying his fucking rent. That's how people operate today. But you also got to be thankful and grateful that you have that job.
Everyone's replaceable, but lazy idiots are the first to be replaced. Let's wrap it up with
There
that.
it is.
Great,
really?
great feedback we got.
Tell me more.
All right. Well, thank you guys for being here. Sports Entertainment Life, Dad Bods, Tyson Fury, the most elite of them all. The guy's a superior boxer. He showed that this weekend. It was one of the greatest fights of our lifetime.
By the way, who is this? Is this your mom or dad? We already have separate accounts. I'm bored to death and had to do something. Can't sit around with barnacles swarming on my butt.
That's my mom, definitely.
Is she?
She's retired
She's
now.
already feeling like the
One
boredom?
day into retirement, she's already stir
She's
crazy.
a week into retirement.
1 week.
Has she tried power walking at the mall?
No, that's for old ladies. My mom doesn't think that way. So, yeah, even though she thinks like she's from 1920-something.
What is she? Does she want to take up a hobby?
Dude, hit her up on your own time. I don't know. So
Let's find her something to do.
she's got 6 grandkids. She's got plenty to do. So
Maybe she could take up crocheting.
By the way,
I'm glad she's listening.
I'm
Hi,
with,
Mom.
I'm with Ryan. I'm going to start using your mom's phrase. When someone's like lazy, I'm going to be like, what are you sitting around with barnacles swarming on your butt? It's a good one.
Oh, you mean old barnacle butt over here?
Yeah.
Oh, barnacle butt? Anyway, some great fights this weekend. Fury Wilder 3 that we were all whelmed about at first. Turned out to be...
you dumbass.
Thanks, Mom. Turned out to be one of the
Barnacle butt.
greatest events, fights, and just hangouts in a long time. Fury, again, superior boxing, beats the one-trick pony, the very strong and powerful puncher known as Deontay Wilder. And What happens next?
Yeah, who knows?
We'll find out. But
yeah. Well, I mean, the point I made on Fox Sports last night, I know you echo the same feelings, is that Deontay Wilder, the bummer is this. I'll compare it to one of my favorite teams of all time, the mid-90s San Francisco 49ers. They were the best team in football, but they couldn't beat the Dallas Cowboys. So it fucking made it look like the Niners couldn't get the job done. They won the one Super Bowl with Steve Young, but 3 other times the Cowboys got to the Super Bowl in that little period of time. That doesn't mean the 49ers were a shitty team. It's just they couldn't beat the Cowboys.
Somebody's got your number, as the
Deontay
saying
Wilder,
goes.
much like those Niners back then, could beat everyone except that one team or person. And Deontay Wilder would fucking destroy
I'll give you a better
Andy
analogy.
Ruiz. He could destroy Anthony Joshua. He would destroy Usyk, the fucking other champion. Deontay Wilder would murder all of them. He just can't beat Tyson Fury.
Better
That's it.
analogy for you. Remember how the Rockets just always dominated in the regular season? It just in recent history.
Yeah.
When Harden was on the Rockets, they would just dominate and outscore everybody and win. But when it came to the playoffs,
Jeff Bezos
they
had
had
a
no
Harden
answers for
rocket.
anybody.
Yep.
It's because you can't win at a certain level just with one trick. And to beat Tyson Fury, who has offense and defense and everything else in between,
Do the chant.
you can't beat him with just a one-trick sort of punch. There's only one Tyson Fury. Only one Tyson Fury. So it was awesome to see. I love Wilder. Wilder showed the heart of a warrior and a champion, and he's going to beat anyone else in the division. Our dream matchup is that Wilder gets the winner of Joshua Usyk 2. He beats the winner of that fight.
And
He becomes champion again. And, hey, maybe we get Fury Wilder 4, even though Wilder will never win. He made great adjustments. He fought tough. He was fighting on pure will and pure heart, and we respect him for that.
EJ said Usyk versus Fury.
Joshua. Oh, Fury.
And then maybe you get Joshua
but
versus...
that's not going to happen
I know
right
for
away.
a minute, but then maybe then you get Joshua versus Wilder. There's some great heavyweight possibilities.
It's
that's
fun.
all.
So boxing's not dead.
Yeah.
Suck a fucking ass butt.
If you want to hear more about it, our download is up on our page for Fox Sports Radio last night. We had a great 3-hour show last night.
Fun
Fox
time.
Sports Radio.
Fun time. Rich got lit by the end of the fight.
He was so
Lit.
lit.
There was a moment after the fight. We were all pumped up. We're all excited. Rich is on edibles
so
because
lit.
it's Saturday, so just another day for Rich.
Yeah.
And
It's the day that ends in Y.
we had some Topo Chicos, and we're drinking, hanging out. I tell Rich a joke, and all of a sudden he got set off. I said, "What do you call an Italian ghost? What do you call an
Couldn't
Italian
figure
ghost?"
it out. It's the most obvious thing. We have a fucking shirt that has the word on it.
He says, "Ghost of Fazul."
Ghost of a ghoul. No, ghost of a ghoul. He said ghost of a ghoul.
Ghost of Azul. Ghost of Azul.
It's on our Patreon behind the velvet rope. If you don't want to sit through our fight commentary, just go to the end.
Go to the end.
Go to the end.
Ghost of Azul. Ghost of Azul. And then it was
then he would
Gabagool.
Yeah, the answer is Gabagool. Give me the Nico company.
Ghost of Azul.
Give me the Nico spot because that's the answer. The real answer is, what do you call an Italian ghost? A Gabagool.
Gabagool.
And
Gabagool.
Rich just went off. That just set it off for him. And he had the giggle pants on. He was completely lit. So it was fun though.
Got some gabagool. And then I woke up the next day and got some gabagool. Gabagool. Keep waking up and getting it. Gabagool.
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 Even got some gabagool from a Scooby-Doo.
Gabagool.
So remember, it is October.
Ghost of Azul.
Watch out for all those Italian ghosts and all the ghosts out there. Every time you yawn, they stick their junk in your mouth. So
And if you have kids, tell them that every time they open their mouth, the ghost farts in their mouth.
Yes.
It's a universal joke.
ghost farts in your face.
Yeah.
So the fight was great.
Ghost
great
of Azul.
night.
Maybe think of something. Hold on.
Ghost of Azul.
Ghost of Azul. Gabagool.
Ghost of Azul.
Ghost of Azul.
Spot dropped a fun fact on Friday after the show, and I just got to throw it out there because you didn't know, and I never connected the dots, which means I could promise you.
La, 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 la. Oh, I'm giving you background music. Connect the dots. La, la,
The new Sopranos movie, The Many Saints of Newark. I'm sorry, of Newark.
Newark.
The Many Saints of Newark.
Many saints in Newark.
I was like,
Newark.
I said to Spot, I go, is there a tie-in that you figure out, like, why do they call it The Many Saints of Newark?
You know, I was born in St. James Hospital in Newark, New Jersey.
There you go.
I'm one of those many saints.
Why don't you write a book about it?
I'm gonna.
So Spot says, "No, you know why they call it Many Saints of Newark?" And I go, "No." And I go, "I bet Covino doesn't know either."
Well, I can tell you what I thought. It's like there's all different gangs going on at that time in Newark, New Jersey.
I mean, it could have multiple meanings.
I thought it just meant like the made men of Newark, who were like the nice guys.
I thought it was Many Saints, meaning a lot of these tough guys who are good family men, but scumbags on the side, like, oh, the Many Saints, like almost sarcastic, like
Right.
the Many Saints of Newark. Like, yeah, they're like, hey, family, life, love. Meanwhile, they were fucking scumbags.
The answer is way cooler than that, actually.
That movie reminded me. I need a gumad.
My dad,
Yeah.
the reviews came in from my parents. My parents, I should say, hated the Chappelle special. I don't know why my brother thought it'd be cool to show them this. They wanted to watch it. They hated it. My mom's like, I don't get it. It wasn't funny. I'm like, I know it wasn't
Aren't
funny.
there things that you'd enjoy, but you're like, my parents wouldn't like?
I knew.
There are things that my dad...
I could have
I'll say,
guaranteed
Dad,
he wouldn't
don't
like
waste
it.
your time. I know my dad would not like it.
Especially when Dave Chappelle was talking about fake puseta.
Yeah.
I know my mom wasn't liking it.
Oh.
So I was like, why would you show that?
God.
Why would my parents even for a second think they were going to like this? And then the review came in. My dad was like, man, I watched The Many Saints of Newark. What a piece of shit. That movie sucked. I'm sorry. He's apologizing to me like I thought it was the greatest
Like you
thing.
made it. Yeah. Dad, I didn't write the movie.
I was like, I said I didn't love it, but
Get this. This is
was all
this is
right.
going to blow minds. And if you say, oh, I knew that already, consider yourself in the brilliant minority. Because I don't think 90% of the people that watched it or even watched The Sopranos realize Many Saints of Newark.
the only person that might know is someone who speaks Italian. Like I like Nico, I like the panettone campanile.
Many Saints of Newark. Many Saints, Maltasana. Maltasanti, right?
Yes, sorry.
And that's Christopher Maltasanti.
Christopher Maltasanti.
Maltasanti.
The name, the
name,
family
the
name,
namesake
Moltisanti,
of the main character,
means many saints.
Maltasanti.
I didn't know that. I didn't put two and two together.
Molto bene, molto bene.
Maltasanti.
Maltasanti.
Many saints.
Many saints.
Many saints.
So essentially, it's the Maltasantis of Newark, New Jersey.
Yep.
The Many Saints.
And it focuses on the Moltisantes.
So, the Many Saints.
There was thought involved in this.
Maltasanti.
Despite what you think, I thought it was a good movie. It was all right. Not a lot of plot.
I'll be honest,
but it was okay.
your dad's review makes me question if I want to watch it.
It was fucking terrible. So
Big Steve may have swayed me.
It was good.
The Many Saints.
It was still all right. It was okay. I think it was a setup to something better. So the fight, fantastic.
I think
went down exactly
the way you called it.
the way I called it. We're gonna get a mix of the previous fights with Tyson Fury coming out on top.
There's only one takeaway that we
There's
haven't
only
discussed.
one Tyson Fury.
There's only one Tyson Fury. There's only one takeaway we haven't discussed already, so I don't want to harp on it. But this happened after the fight that we didn't see until like the next day. Tyson Fury is partying, jumping around, and dancing with Steve Aoki in Vegas. Meanwhile, Deontay Wilder's in the hospital bed, like recovering.
That pretty much tells the entire story.
It describes the
ass
condition,
whooping.
like the conditioning and odd strength of Tyson Fury, where he looks like he's got dad bod of all dad bods. Meanwhile, he's fucking dancing and jumping around on a stage in Vegas shirtless with Steve Aoki after just going 11 rounds with Deontay Wilder.
He's a superior
There's
boxer.
something just so
you know what it's like?
ridiculous.
It's like I'll give you another analogy. It's like a guy at Top Golf who could just hit bombs. He just tees off like nobody's business,
him.
right?
Look at
That's
him.
Deontay Wilder. But he doesn't have the skill set to be a good golfer.
That right there in the video is Tyson Fury
and
dancing.
Tyson Fury is a masterful
who's that
boxer.
her?
He's the good golfer in this analogy.
Is that his wife?
Is that the same girl that was dancing with Urban Meyer? Did she just make her rounds?
No, that's his wife.
Okay.
So yeah, Tyson Fury is just an elite boxer. Not the puncher that Wilder is, but an elite boxer. So anyway, great fight, great time, great night. Watch our Behind the Velvet Rope on Patreon. And then that led us to, well, we woke up the next day and we're like, oh yeah, Kim Kardashian hosted SNL.
I watched the monologue
They
and it
were
was
really
funny.
good. Yeah, she did a great job, but we shouldn't be surprised. Kardashians are famous. You know why? Because they're hot with big asses, but they're entertaining. They're entertaining.
Yeah, it's
So-
like when my favorite example always is I
Tom
remember
Cruise.
you and I.
Tom Cruise.
Right, you know my stories, I know yours.
Tom Cruise.
Covino and I watched a clip of Tom Cruise doing like a comedic sketch with like Fallon or Kimmel or someone or Corden. We're
It
like,
was really good.
I was like, man, Tom Cruise is really funny. And it's like, well, hold on. Oh, why are we surprised? It's fucking Tom Cruise.
I mean, Risky Business,
You mean-
Top Gun,
You mean the guy
Cocktail.
that acts for a living and this
Right.
is his craft and he's one of the best? Yeah, surprise.
That doesn't always mean it translate to comedy, though.
Yeah, but we shouldn't be surprised
True,
that Kim Kardashian, like Elon Musk's spot, is like a fucking super smart businessman nerd. So him on SNL is different than someone that's had a camera following them for 20 years.
Yeah.
You know what though? This answers the question that we always sort of like confuse ourselves with. Our career has spanned many years now. Just as Covino and Rich were approaching 17 years
Many.
of this show.
Hey, we're like the
we were doing
Kardashians.
radio before we started doing Covino and Rich.
Yeah, our 16-year anniversary
Was last December. We're approaching 17.
December 04. Yeah, well, we'll start year 17.
Yeah. So we always ask ourselves, whose career took off the furthest in that span? Because, we sort of came up together with a lot of people. And we've seen a lot of careers blossom throughout our years, interviewing people.
Whoa.
By far, blossom.
You said blossom, sorry.
By far, it's the Kardashians. Because when we met them, they were just like, hot chicks that were willing to hang out with us.
The Kardashians
So,
were
by far, it was
represented. The Kardashians were represented and hung with a guy named Danny Estrada,
Who used to bring hot chicks on our show
who
all
used
the
to be
time.
like one of our buddies that would bring girls by. There were times where
Yeah.
we would hang at a table with the Kardashians, and that's not a joke.
My favorite story is we were at some random party. What was that? The Hawaiian Tropic Zone.
I'll send it to you. I got
So we were at the Hawaiian Tropic Zone, and we were at the booth with them, but the booth was filled.
Yo, Courtney
so I
wanted
was
it, bro.
standing behind the booth, and Kim Kardashian was standing up on the booth. So I was standing directly behind her ass. I swear to God.
But dude, there was a
I'm not
time-
making this up.
I was so
Yeah.
close
You know
with
me. I don't lie.
I was so close with Danny Estrada. Check your phone spot or check the messages. That he would be like, "Yo, man, going out with Kim tonight." He knew I was all about that Heine ho, and I would be like, "Yeah, no, I'm good," because they were just like hot socialites.
What is this that you just sent me?
Something I had in a collage like that I just happened to see this
Wait till
weekend.
you see this lame ass collage you made.
What do you mean?
Collage
You think
boy.
I made it this weekend? This shit is old as
Look
fuck.
at this fucking collage he has.
You have a Kardashian
He has
collage?
a Kardashian collage.
It's from our Instagram. Yeah,
Look
it's
at this
real
little
lame.
Kardashian collage.
You made a Kardashian
I even put
collage.
Bruce in there.
I mean, you made a Kardashian collage.
It was, I don't know
I mean-
when I did this
I mean,
or
you
what
did
it was
it.
for.
Yeah,
I mean, you made a
it's a
Kardashian collage.
Yeah, like 4 or 5 years ago.
But I mean, you made a Kardashian collage.
Okay, hey, at least
Yeah.
I'm making stuff for the show. Oh, snap. Burn. Just
That's like
kidding.
rude.
Rude?
Look at that. Who is that? Is that Kim?
Look at Courtney's hand is what
Who's
I'm
that
saying.
in the left picture? Is that Kim?
What are you talking about?
I can't tell. Like she looks the same now.
What
That's
left
Kim, right?
picture, bro?
That one, the middle one, the
Yeah,
left
that's
one.
Kim.
Yeah, that's
That's
Kim.
Kim.
Yeah.
She got,
By the way, just zoom in on that one spot
her
for the
con-
tier 2 because she looks like a different human being
her
now. That's why I had to ask.
Her contouring's gotten much better.
Like that just looks like a regular Jersey
I'm
girl.
looking at Courtney's hand in that next photo. That's what I'm looking at.
Courtney's hands on
I'm
your
looking at how
thigh.
Kim's looking at me.
Courtney. I should have invested in Courtney. Instead, I got stuck with Chloe.
I know.
Wow.
So anyway.
Yeah, so if you
my
ask-
favorite picture is the one on the bottom middle. Yeah, that one right
Yeah,
there.
Bruce, yeah.
It's not a Kardashian
Yeah,
collage.
baby.
It's a Jenner collage. Yeah. So the answer is yes, Sebastian Maniscalco, he zoomed into the stratosphere along with Olivia Munn, who's having a baby now. These are the answers we always like reference.
Kristen Bell.
Kristen Bell, big star.
People we met that were
The Kardashians are by far the answer.
People we met that were on the come up that not everyone knew that are household names. The top 3 answers are Kristen. The top 3 answers are the Kardashians, Sebastian Maniscalco, and Olivia Munn, and maybe Kristen Bell because she was Veronica Mars, so she was on television. But she's like,
We've seen a lot
she's
of
fucking
come-ups.
Elsa, right? I mean,
But
or
I'll tell you
Anna,
what.
Anna, one of them. I
Yeah.
mean, Jesus Christ.
The Kim Kardashian hosting SNL. Of course, we weren't watching. We were watching the fight. But when we saw the highlights the next day, she did a really good job. And she held back no punches as far as bringing up OJ and the sex tapes and her family and mocking everything about their life, which really just negates any sort of burn you want to throw at her. So
Yeah, she
she
with the
owns
one,
it, and it was funny as hell.
She
Kanye, she threw it all out there.
Dig it herself. What did she say? She goes, "It's weird because I'm not releasing an album or a movie. In fact, I've only released one movie and I didn't even know it was going to be released or
She
something like
looked
that?
hot as nuts, and she did a great job.
I'd play a clip, but NBC is super aggressive.
Yeah, don't get
not
us
worth it.
started.
No, yeah, it's not worth this fun. Just show my collage again. I'm sorry, the one that you made fun of.
Someone was saying that you deserve an A in art class.
That was
This is
Alex
a
Efforts.
collage of all collage.
Let's go through the collage.
Yeah, let's
All right,
go
so
on.
this is that party we were at.
What face is that in the top left?
That's
is that your
a-
fuck face?
Yeah,
This is
man.
like,
I was
hey,
bringing it.
Oh, is that Covino? I was like,
Hey, I'm hanging with the Kardashians.
yeah,
This is at the Maxim Hot 100
Don't
party
worry about
in New
my
York.
face. Look at her face looking at me in that bottom middle photo.
I don't know.
Spot, the one of me is it the one with me, Covino, and Courtney up there? Where the hell is that?
That's the Hot 100 party.
Oh, okay.
Let's see. That's from the studio.
A lot of studio ones, but there's a couple party ones.
Look at me in the cardboard cutout. Did you see that one? That was a good one. Right there in the middle left.
Oh, this one right here.
Yeah. I'm not even in that photo.
They're giving the peace sign. Yeah.
Yeah. She look. Oh, Kim's pinching my nipples. I think in that photo.
Oh yeah. No.
Yeah, yeah.
Well,
No.
She's not giving a peace sign. She's pinching my nipples.
that was big news
Who's
over the
this-
weekend.
Who's this girl?
Some girl that wanted me, I think.
This girl right here. Who's that?
So
That's
some girl that was like all on my Johnson. But anyway, yeah, Courtney fought her off that night. I remember. Anyway, SNL. Kim Kardashian was funny as hell.
I agree with Andrew Hart 100%. It's not funny that you have a collage, but thinking
Dude,
about you,
we made
no, but
it.
Thinking
It's
about,
on the Covino Rich Instagram, like from 5 years ago.
but why can't you be
Why is
ever
that-
the
but
butt of
how's
a
that-
joke?
But how's that funny?
It's
though?
funny to everyone but you.
Like there was probably a reason that I made that.
Andrew said
like
it
5
best.
years ago.
It's not funny they have a collage, but the thought of you sitting there making a Kardashian collage is funny to everyone on earth but you.
I have like.
Hey, Covino, what are you doing? I'm very busy. I'm making a Kardashian collage.
Is this one-
You're
is the
a,
one-
You're
all
a
right.
fucking rock dude.
You're a 45-year-old
Okay.
grown man that loves rock music, and
Okay.
you made
making
this,
a Kardashian collage. How
Actually-
is that not funny?
Here's one of me with Puddle of Mud, David Dream,
That's
and Papa
okay.
Roach, Godsmack, Breaking Benjamin.
That's like
It's a
Rich
collage.
making a fucking. You wouldn't make fun of Rich if he made like, oh, here's me
No.
with like the.
Here's like,
contestants.
you know what?
If I
I
made
made
an
other
Ozzy- if I made an Ozzy Osbourne
No,
and
it's
like,
part of the
if
show.
it
You
was-
guys are bozos. We have guests. We welcome them.
No.
I have a collage of all music artists, women that we've had on the show. Of all my favorite comedians. Like we've done this because we
What's
make
like-
Instagram posts on like.
If Rich made,
Guess who we've had.
But if Rich made like a lame collage of something that he loves,
I don't think
what
the
does Rich love?
Kardashians are lame. I don't like their show. I don't think they're lame. I think they're hot as hell and they're annoying as hell, but still hot. I don't think they're lame. So if you want to see a collage of
Cool
me
as-
and like
cool as 'cause
like
you did it.
hot women singers, like I have one of like, hey, it's Katy Perry, Mariah Carey, girls, women that have been on our show. Collages. I mean, we have social media, right? I know collages are outdated.
That's like a
That's
really
from 5 years
in-depth-
ago.
This is like a really in-depth collage.
No, it's not. You search, if you go to Flickr, you know how it works. You search Covino and Kardashians, they all come up. A whole lot of thought didn't go into it.
Jeez, don't get
So-
so mad.
Like
It's not
hold on.
mad. It's just, I don't think it's funny.
Like this is a what I would.
It might be funny to you guys, but we do this all. We
No.
used to do it all the time.
So there's pick stitches.
yeah,
There's pick stitches.
Yeah, that
right?
was a big thing like
that's
5
what it
years
was.
ago.
Yeah, I know.
like pick stitches are to me are okay because they highlight a few popular groups.
Covino,
Like this is a pick stitch.
like
this is
Spot.
a rock pick stitch.
Spot,
Who are
before
these people?
before social media allowed you to swipe and add more than one photo, the way to get multiple photos in was to make a collage.
That's-
Who's this? Nickelback?
That's Puddle of Mud,
Oh, Puddle of Mud.
Disturbed, Papa Roach, Godsmack, and a few other bands. Yeah, so making a collage is not out of my wheelhouse
Who's this?
of normalcy because that's Breaking Benjamin.
Okay.
By
You
the way,
look
is
so
this,
young there.
is this like when you were single on the dating scene, right?
Yeah.
On your Bumble and Tinder profile, did it under hobbies did it say collaging?
Now that's funny, but
Oh, now okay.
Yeah.
And I like to travel. I like the Yankees.
Like,
I
you
work
take
out. I work
everything
out here and there. I also am very much into collage.
You
collages.
take everything so personally.
I'm sorry. No, I'm sorry. We're
You
a
have to
national
admit
show
it's
that
funny.
we make social media posts.
You have
it's
to
so
admit
out of, it's
there's
so out of my
something
wheelhouse.
funny.
I like boxing. I like the
how that's
Yankees. I'm into,
don't know
I
how
do
that's
some
funny.
craft work. I do some,
have to
collages.
admit.
I don't know how
Come
that's funny
on.
at all. You know what? I made one. I know pick stitches are outdated.
Yeah,
Right? I
so
get
is,
it. I
so
get
is
it.
Flickr, by the way, but it's a good place to store our
It's
shit.
where our fucking photos go. Yeah, I'm Key. He's not hosting a show unless he's on the after show, but later. He's not hosting a national show every day where you have guests, or we used to anyway. So you need a place to put those photos. So Flickr is where I would go and I would search and they all come up. I made a fucking pick stitch this weekend of all our favorite heavyweight moments when we had Evander Holyfield, Lennox Lewis, Fury, Wilder, Tyson, all these people on our show. I put them in one photo. It's not that out of my wheelhouse of what I do to promote the show. So I don't know how that's funny, but
You know what?
Whatever.
It's not funny at all.
Whatever.
Let's move on.
Whatever. Either way, the point was, Kim Kardashian comes out
Here I
in
was.
this pink fucking outfit,
Here I was trying to bring it to
looking restonkulous.
She did look
So-
good. She did look good.
But they brought the funny, which makes you hate yourself because you're like, yeah, I want to hate on them, but they're entertaining. There's a reason.
I saw one clip from SNL that was making the rounds. It wasn't a Kardashian bit though. It was how everyone has a seltzer brand now.
Oh yeah.
And there's JCPenney seltzer.
Jiffy Lube seltzer.
So that might be the one to watch also.
Have you ever been to the scrapbooking section at like Joanne Fabrics? They got a lot going on.
How is
there.
this news? If it's just a surprise to you guys, it insults me because that means you don't follow me on Instagram.
Lynn says you should frame these and put
I
them on
still
the
do this
backdrop
shit.
behind you.
I still do this shit.
No, pick stitches are
Like
one thing.
Jordan yells at me because
That's
like,
a full-on
pick stitches are
collage.
so like outdated. I'm like,
I mean,
I
they
don't
are.
give a fuck. I know. I'm like, I don't care. I'm doing this for me. The Yasibya.
You do the carousel now. That's why they
It's
invented
all about
the carousel.
it is. I know. I get it.
But there's pick stitches, which is the rock one I just showed, and then there's collages. There's about 30 photos in that Kardashian
Because they all
collage.
came up.
Yeah, it's
I forget
fantastic.
why.
What are
I
you
did
gonna
it.
do? Hey,
Hey man,
he's not-
you know
he's-
what? I care. I pay attention to detail, bro.
You should recommend your mom starts
In retirement.
scrapbooking.
Oh, by the way,
My mom
so
has,
true.
My mom does have like a mini scrapbook of me. I had no idea about it.
When you are
So cool.
when you are a grown man one day and you retire, I could see you being one of the type of guys that scrapbooks your life.
So
No, but I'm saying you. So next topic.
yeah, but I mean, you're
Fine.
trying. You act like that's an insult. No, I'm proud of what I do. So if I'm an old fuck one day and I want to look back at some of the fun we had, I say more power to me and to you if you lived a great life.
Jeez, all right,
So that's how I feel about it. What do you want from me? It's not sensitive. I did a collage this weekend. No one laughed at that shit.
so sorry.
You didn't do like that extensive of a collage.
Dude, we had
We're
many
gonna just-
moments. Many of moments
I
with
just
the
wanna look at it one more
Kardashians.
time.
Many of moments with the Kardashians.
I can't even fit it on the screen. That's how big it is.
By the way, you know, you're reminding me of we left some out. We had Chloe and Courtney at the what was that?
I don't care.
No, but remember when we interviewed them at the Swing House Studios?
Yeah, I'm not a Kardashian fan. I don't hate on them, but like you think they're hot, I think they are manufactured. Like I still think I mean, if I was a single guy, yeah, but I mean, they're not even in my top.
Who's like
idea.
who's the other? We should do like a Henry Winkler collage. He's been on the show a lot.
Covino's like, funny you should ask. Hold on, let me send it to you.
You know what's
should
funny?
do,
I might have one of those. I
let's
might have
see.
like some of the older guys that like the Tony Danzas, Henry Winklers, the older dudes that have embraced
You
us
know what?
throughout the years.
Kim brings up a great point. You should end it with this and move on. Everyone should strive to have a life worth scrapbooking.
You know, that's a great point.
There you go.
I have some great photos with people. I should start doing this.
You should rank all the coffees people send you. You
What
must,
do we
have,
drink-
you
what do
must
we-
have a mountain of coffee bags right now. We do.
What are we drinking today?
We're still on that same the same one.
Yeah, you guys got to drink more coffee. I go through a bag of coffee in like 2 days.
Cove, you the man. That's from John ZL. All right, well, Tyson Fury, Deontay Wilder. That fight was sick. Kim Kardashian hosting SNL. The reviews were great.
And then the NFL.
The NFL,
Some great games.
Major League Baseball, playoffs are in full effect. 4 games today. Jim Ramsey, I know, posted the schedule. If you're off today and you want to be a lazy ass, you got 4 back-to-back baseball games. 1 p.m. Eastern. Brewers. What's up, Aaron Wilberdang? What's up, Dr. Tim? What's up, Robs? The Braves are playing the Brewers at 1. And then 3 o'clock, Astros, Sox. 7 o'clock, Rays, Red Sox. And then late game tonight, 9:30, which is 6:30 out here. Giants, Doyers, game 3. So a lot of good baseball today.
Astro Sox.
And then tonight, Colts, Ravens, which I think.
Jeff Bezos wears those.
And by the way, you know what? I guess when you get made fun of when you fail, I guess you got to pat yourself on the back when you do well, right? Like 2 weeks ago, dominated football gambling. Last week, everyone was quick to be like, yo, Teaser Town, that sucks.
More like Sleazer Town.
More like fucking lose your money town. Like people were making fun of me.
Cheeser Town.
Yesterday,
Cheeser Town.
dude, 5-0. 5-0 on my picks, and
Good weekend, bruv.
I did another teaser.
Nice,
I did another teaser with the Niners getting 11, with the Ravens winning tonight. So if I win tonight, I'll be 6-0 on my week this week, which would totally get you back from a bad week.
What was the biggest takeaway? Some great
football?
matchups. Here's my two that come to mind immediately without really putting much thought into it. Tom Brady is the Mahan, shut up, fucking
Anyone that believes otherwise.
Shannon Sharp and everyone else that's saying otherwise.
Shannon Sharp and Donnie Pompidou are the two remaining people.
Skip. Yo, I'm sorry. 411 yards, 5 tutties. First time ever in his career over 400 yards with 5 tutties at the age of 44.
As
Business is booming again. AB, Evans, great games, great performance from Tom Brady, and the Chiefs are just not what they used to be.
I don't know about that.
Those are my two takeaways.
Rapid fire. I said it on Fox last night, so I'll say it quick again.
And the Chargers are the real deal.
Could we put a game in London that's worth watching? Jets, Falcons, and then next week, Dolphins, Jags? It's like they're taking. It's like, hey, yo, let's think of the shittiest teams, right? Send it to London.
Football is life.
Bengals and Packers fighting over who could blow that game. The Bengals did. Packers won. The Lions just have the worst luck, but the Vikings are in it. Vikings are now 2-3 after a rough start. Other takeaways, Jameis Winston and Jason Brown are smiling. They put a whooping on Washington. The Eagles with a big comeback. What's up, Philadelphia? Titans stomping all over the Jags. You know the Jags have lost 20 in a row, and next week when they play Miami and London, it might be their best chance to win this year.
Their only chance.
Might be.
As the schedule gets harder. Because
Patriots,
again, we talked about this on Fox Sports Radio, so definitely check out the podcast to get our silly take and takeaways.
Patriots made a really nice comeback. They were losing the whole game to the Texans. Won at the end. Bears, Raiders. Raiders seem a little lost now. What did I say? When the Broncos and Raiders are both 3-0, what did I say?
Soft 3-0s.
They're both 3-2 now.
Look at that.
Chargers, Browns could be a preview of what to see in the playoffs in the AFC. What a game. Chargers 47-42. Cowboys, Chris Rucker. You my sucker, Chris Rucker.
Did you see Ezekiel Elliott made a cameo on SNL 2 this weekend?
Ezekiel Elliott?
Yeah.
No.
Keenan Thompson was Ezekiel Elliott.
Oh, I didn't see it. I didn't see it.
In a bit.
That's funny.
It's kind of funny.
But the Cowboys look like they're the real deal. Trey Lance looked impressive at times. The 49ers struggled a little bit.
I just got feedback. It wasn't Ezekiel Elliott. It was an Ewok from Return of the Jedi. Sorry.
And
I thought it was supposed to be.
Last night, Josh Allen.
Oh, my God.
I think we're hard on...
Oh, man, why you got to bring that up and ruin my day, you know? I was kind of having fun and just enjoying the show, and
we're hard on...
really got to bring it in. And
we're hard on...
Spot, did you see the slow motion soundbite from the game last night on my Instagram story?
No.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you might want to look at it. It's really impressive.
Yeah, it was pretty good.
I think my big takeaway is that we're so hard on superstars in sports, not just Mahomes. When we were kids, I don't know how to... Oh, you know what it is? I think I'll think of a way to sum it up this way.
What it is.
I have a good way to sum it up. You know how we always say we glorify the past?
Yes.
Not just athletes, like life.
Yeah.
Like TV was always great when we were younger, like some dumb shit people say, like, oh, movies used to... Because you forget all the stinkers?
It's like my mom. Like, instead of watching something current, she made my brother watch some whack shit this weekend. I felt so bad for him. Right. It's the greatest sports movie of all time.
Miracle?
No, it was like All-American Jim Thorpe or something. Sit down and watch this, a 1942 classic, Tommy.
God.
And Tommy's like, come on, Ma, let's watch like The Express or something. Something updated, yo. Like, what's the one with, what's the Rookie? Let's watch something like
modern.
More modern. No, Jim Thorpe, All-American, 1939. I
don't know how your mom is like that.
Yeah,
it drives me
my brother
insane.
took a picture. Look at my. I'll send it to Spot.
Yeah,
Spot, you got to see this.
Can I see? Can I
this
watch
is
this video
my mom
clip?
and her.
Yeah,
natural.
watch the video. The video. Watch a video.
This is my mom.
oh, so slippery.
Are you serious? Be ashamed of yourself.
Slipper.
Really?
Slippery. Oh man, Butterfingers. Butterfingers tonight.
Actual sound bites from the game yesterday. Actual sound bites. That's from
you know what?
The boom mic.
Yeah.
Stick to that.
Yeah.
No collages.
No collages. That's your new bread and butter right there.
So
There it is.
I think we're so hard on. we're tough on current stars because we like to think that superstars of the past never lost. Like, guess what?
Jim Thorpe never lost.
American. But like we think of, all right, Larry Bird. Larry Bird lost a lot. Magic Johnson, they lost a lot. Jim Thorpe, All-American. That's what your brother
That's my
was
mom's
forced to watch.
glory right there. A bag of bagels.
This looks like somebody photoshopped something on the TV.
That's my mom's most glorious moment. My brother's like, "Come on, mom, please."
This is lame, Mom.
Yo, mom, why we gotta watch this? Yeah.
Hold on. Screen.
Tommy, let me show you something worth watching. That Dave Chappelle special was garbage.
By the way,
Come on, mom.
screen grab this, and then you can put anything you want on the TV that 10 is watching.
If you zoom in, that's a picture of Melody on that little digital frame.
Oh, that's
that's
sweet.
pretty cool. But that's my mom's glory. A bag of bagels, some cream cheese on the side, or yogurt, whatever
Something
she's
like cranberry
eating.
juice?
My mom's sitting there in her droopy ass
You know what I'm
socks.
gonna do? I'm gonna put porn on the TV and send it to Big Steve.
Everybody and my mom has watched that Jim Thorpe All-American movie.
Oh my God!
150 times. I'm not even lying. So it's crazy. And then
So-
she makes my dad sit there like, you gotta watch it till the end. It's wild. So go ahead. I'm sorry. Continue.
Oh no, I was saying because you were saying like Mahomes and Kansas City's not what they used to be. We're just very
not.
we're very hard
defense is
on.
whack.
All right.
It is. You think
mean,
they're the same team? They're playing like ass,
Did
bro.
you see him dropping the ball?
Oh, slippery butterfingers. It was in slow
What's
motion.
funnier, the thought of Covino making that or collage?
That.
All right, take two. Hold on.
Hey, man. Whatever.
Slippery. All right, let me sync it up to the
Hold
video.
on. Hold on. I gotta do it again.
Hold on. Let me rewind the
Hey,
TV.
bro, that's a one-take masterpiece right there. Oh. It was. So.
Anyway, no one cares about my point, so let's just move on anyway.
I care about your point.
No,
You're
I'm just saying
that
when we
they're-
were kids, Michael Jordan lost so many times before the Bulls finally made it to the championship, right? Joe Montana had seasons where they went 10-6. He lost 6 games. There are times where your favorite athletes lost.
athletes.
It was part of it.
Athletes.
Peyton Manning would lose in the playoffs all the time. He only won 2 Super Bowls, and he was one of the greatest players of all time. Think of any sport, right?
UFC is a great look at this example Rich is giving.
We
Most
think,
of the champions there have lost several times before they come champion.
yeah, we think of like Muhammad Ali and Mike Tyson. Like, yeah, I know it was later in their career, but they lost. They got their ass whooped at times.
Right.
No one is perfect. So Mahomes
Kurt Hennig is, but I
Mahomes
digest.
comes in the league. He dominates. As a rookie, the guy fucking loses.
Now we're talking.
He loses in the championship game to Tom Brady on a penalty. D Ford was offsides, or else Kansas City would have went to the Super Bowl. The next year, he wins the Super Bowl. Looks unbeatable, MVP. The next year, looks unbeatable, loses to Brady in the Super Bowl. Starts this season a little rough, 2-3. There's 12 games to go, and everyone's like, man, Mahomes and the Chiefs, done. It's like,
They could turn it around. You're
I
absolutely
said to
right.
you last night on the way home, I said,
You're
yo,
right about that,
I said
for sure.
they could be 11-6 or 12-5.
I'll allow
and-
the Buccaneers last year.
I said last year.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure at one point the Bucks last year were 7-5, floating just slightly over 500, and everyone's like, "Man, Tom Brady, they fucking win the Super Bowl."
They turn it around. So, Rich does make a solid point there. As of now, they're not the same team, though. As we heard in that soundbite. You heard the frustration.
The defense. The defense is. It's not a Mahomes. The defense is suspect, and when you play. Chris Collinsworth made the best point last night.
No, he made a really weird point. He was like, they're definitely probably not as good as they were last year. I was like, definitely, probably, Collinsworth? You're better than that. Sounds like something Rich Davis would say.
Collinsworth said...
He said definitely, probably.
He said in past years, the Chiefs could fall behind by like 20 points to someone.
Yeah,
and the game's
still
not
in
over
it.
because Mahomes... There was a minute last night that you're like...
They're back in the
They
game,
might
he
be
said.
back in this game.
Yeah, they're back,
And
baby.
then there was a Butterfingers by Tyreek Hill, pick 6 in the end zone. That's when the game was over. Now, but the reality was, up until this year, they could make up for that. But now you got the Bills, who have just explosive as an offense. So if you fall behind, teams like the Bills are going to beat you now.
Yeah. Some great teams, some great games. Anyway, hope you enjoyed them. Want to hear more about the fight, more about the games? Fox Sports Radio, our podcast. Really having a lot of fun with that. Me, Rich, Spot, a whole new crew over there that sort of embraces us. Shout out to Sean Wyman, Super Agent Sean Wyman, and everyone there that makes it possible. But yeah, please download the podcast. Put it on auto downloader. Check it out. Pass it around. We talk sports, but a lot of just fun and nonsense too. like we always do on Fox Sports Radio Sunday nights. So check it out. The links are in our Twitter and our Instagram and everything else. So, Rich, let's get into the random nonsense, all right? We hope you had a great weekend.
Let me see here. Fury, check. NFL Week 5,
congratulations
check.
to all the teams that won. Red Sox continue on over Tampa. White Sox won one last night. All 4 games going on tonight. AL, NL. Right. So enjoy your football, your Monday Night Football, Colts, Ravens, and all the and the baseball games.
Gotcha.
I have a funny, stupid story.
I want to just, before you get to your stupid, funny story, I want to know, because you don't know the answer and I don't know the answer
What
either.
Tud is.
I want to know what Tut is.
I want you to show me.
What I'm thinking?
Whoa.
So, I don't know how this
I
happens.
want to know.
I don't know how this happens, but how does a meme or a little jiffy giffy or a little fucking trick spread so fast at the same time around the world? On Saturday, within 15 minutes, I had 4 friends from different parts of my life all send me a link that said, Dog the Bounty Hunter catches Brian Laundrie alive, San Francisco Chronicle. And it looked like a legit article. You click on it, it's fucking Wood on the end of the bed with his dick out. When I tell you, my buddy Jeremy on Long Island, my buddy Siri, who's in Connecticut.
I sent it to Siri.
2 other friends, one of our West Coast buddies. I'm saying people that don't know each other from different parts of the country within an hour all sent it, which means
this one spread like wildfire, Rich, but I know why. I know why.
But I'm saying, like, it was one of those
from the San Francisco Chronicle.
Yeah. How on earth did people from New York, Connecticut, LA, Texas? I had different friends from parts of my life sending me this same trick thing. Now, the first time I actually was tricked, I'll be honest.
I was so got.
I was got. It
I
was
was got because we all want this story to happen and unfold where Dog the Bounty Hunter finds this dirty laundry, Gabby Petito piece of shit ex-boyfriend, fiance.
You know why though? Because
so
it wasn't.
Like,
it wasn't.
He got him. Click.
You know why?
And it's the guy with his dick
why?
out.
Because it wasn't a. It wasn't a weird link.
Yeah.
It was a picture, like a little story you would get.
It had a preview.
It had a preview.
Image
It had a preview image and a headline. It said San Francisco Chronicle. And
I gotta tell you,
yeah.
my buddy Gus sent it to all of our buddies in a group text, and I got so bad. I was like, no way. Click black dick. Oh, slipper. I was like, no.
Wet balls.
I was like, oh, I got. I can't believe I got.
I can't believe I got
I
either.
got because I wanted that story to be true so bad that Dog the Bounty Hunter found this guy.
Who got you?
Steve did.
Oh,
So then I went on a rampage, bro.
I sent it to like 50 people.
Yeah, I sent it to every one of our listeners that hits me up personally. I'm like, fuck you texting me all the time. I'm going to get you right now. Rocket Dog, JC in Kentucky, Ray, Vic in Toronto. Like, if you text me, I was getting you back with that shit.
It
Kevin K. Diddy, Chuck, what the fuck? I'm getting all you guys.
Yeah, that's how it previewed on a text message.
It previewed with the image.
Yeah.
So you're like, okay, this looks legit.
And then you
It's
click it.
gotta be him.
You click it, it was the naked black guy.
And I would send it to
click
people with
it.
No, don't do that. Because then my mom's going to see.
Don't
a highly offended spot.
So,
By the way, I saw what your mom was watching.
oh, Jesus. That's terrible.
I'm so offended.
Yeah, whoever did that, my mom will not find that funny at all. I promise you. Now she's offended.
His name is Spot.
I think it's funny. My mom will not find it funny.
Sorry, 10.
So, Spot's right. The image got you.
I love how it cut up. By the way, it cut off perfectly on the
I
screen.
think you did that on purpose because we can't be showing vulgarity like that.
Cut off.
Okay.
I mean, we can.
Did you do that on purpose?
No, it actually cut off.
We should not be showing.
No, he did it on purpose. Okay. Is that Maria Menounos or a dolphin? I don't know.
On purpose.
So,
That's pretty good.
guys,
I just don't
we
know.
all got.
Why can't we show vulgarity?
Because you want to show pornography on our Patreon?
That's like one of the most iconic images of the past.
Well, I
2
would-
years.
I would
he
say-
did own the pandemic, no doubt, but that shit, we thought Wood was done. That shit came back full force this weekend, and that shit spread like wildfire. You're absolutely right, Rich.
I couldn't imagine who the originator was, and they must have been so proud of themselves because, like I said, Connecticut, New York, LA, Texas, people I know from different parts of my life all within an hour, we're like, yo, did you see this? And you know what? You sent it to someone. Did you add a little message too? Like, holy shit, I can't believe it. Like,
I didn't. But it did get around. Like Dr. Tim was like, yeah, so-and-so beat you to the punch. Ro, some people were hip to it. Ro and Kevin K. Diddy were like, Ro the Peruvian Prince, like, I'm not opening this. What do you think? I'm stupid? But I'm like, well, I mean, I'm not stupid, but I just so badly wanted that to be true that I just blindly clicked that.
We send each other links all the time.
Yeah.
So I'm like, oh,
that shit was funny. You know? That was funny. So would return this weekend full force. The naked black guy from the pandemic.
And by the way,
he's back. Barry. Some people call him Barry.
I sent it to you. Look at the group text. Dog the Bounty Hunter, for as weird as he looks, his daughter's cute. Like, there's a headline. It's like, Dog the Bounty Hunter's daughter was told not to give up her dad's sources. And it was a picture of Dog's daughter. It was on our group text spot. This is not a link to Wood's penis. Don't worry. But it's like, not that you assume his daughter would look like a weirdo, but Dog the Bounty Hunter is a strange looking cat, no?
What do you mean?
Oh, you think he's handsome?
He's
Is that what you're saying?
Good looking dude.
Which group chat?
Does she look like Brock Lesnar's daughter?
Did I not send it to you, Spot?
Someone sent me a photo of.
We may have sent it to our.
You know, sometimes the daughter looks like the mom or the dad. Brock Lesnar's daughter looks like Brock Lesnar.
I'll just Google it.
I'm not saying that's bad.
Where's the last link I sent you?
I'm
Twitter.
just saying.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it was just a tweet from the New York Post. Dog the Bounty Hunter's daughter says she was told not to reveal active information.
Sorry, you said not to click on the New York Post stuff.
Oh, yeah, the Dog the Bounty Hunter one you could.
Oh, snap.
Yeah, like she's cute.
Yeah.
Snap.
But like, look at her, like Dog the Bounty Hunter's daughter. I'm like, I expected his daughter, I don't know why, to look pretty gross. And she's hot.
Yeah, I mean, especially.
Imagine going on a date with her, not knowing
that's her dad.
Imagine going on a date with her, not knowing her dad. When she's like, I want you to meet my dad. He's like, hi, I'm Dog the Bounty Hunter.
What's his real name?
Something. Dwayne.
Yeah. Hey, I'm Dwayne.
I agree with
Campbell,
I agree with
Dwayne
Alex.
Something.
I agree with Alex. I'm still amazed that Dog is 5'7".
Right?
Yeah.
I saw a picture of him standing next to someone tall.
Gene Simmons.
Gene Simmons. I was like, what the fuck? Dog the Bounty Hunter is a little fella. He's like Barry
fine.
size.
Yeah, our buddy Barry's about 5'6", 5'7". So anyway, Rich is absolutely right. It was all about the Kardashians, the fight, football, baseball playoffs, and the fact that Barry Wood came back full force via the text message from your funny pal. And I went, dude, I was having, you know, you're laughing so hard, you're farting. You're just like, I was just sending that to everybody, waiting for them to be like, fuck! And I was dying.
I sent it to a bunch of people. And know what I did? I put my phone down.
I was having no breathers, as they say.
But that's what you got to do. You got to send it to like a bunch of people. Put your phone down.
Yeah.
Go just run a little errand, and then come back and be like, ooh, and then know when you pick up your phone, how many responses.
I had so much fun getting people with that.
You know who's easy to get? Your friends that are maybe not in the loop, but they don't expect it. I sent it to my softball team on our like group. We have like a group, not a chat. We have a group like.
Do you know
who's
JC
in this
in Kentucky
week?
said that was the first time he ever got rickrolled by the naked black guy.
Really?
Oh,
First time. Well, he's from
Mudlick, Kentucky.
Kentucky. You know, on his weekends he goes to visit that Ark that's there, the Ark Museum, Noah's Ark. That's what he does for fun.
Yeah.
So
he's a religious guy.
None of his circle is getting him with the gotcha.
They send each other.
I was the first guy.
They send each other prayer forwards.
Yeah, like
You're sending them a junction.
I'm like, dude, I'm so sorry. I didn't mean
Prayer forwards.
Yeah, I was like, I didn't mean to. Sorry.
Maybe
bud.
if you sent that to 10 people, we wouldn't be in a pandemic.
But
right now.
he laughed at it for sure. But I'm just saying, not everybody's
but
in on the loop.
How does your mom not know how iconic Wood was during the pandemic?
How would she? That just explains.
How would she?
What do you think? Someone's sending
She's
her
a
that?
60-year-old
No,
woman
I'm
that
not
works
saying
in an
someone's
office.
sending it to her, but we talked about it nonstop during the pandemic.
Yeah, but you think she investigated it?
No, but
She
she was like,
listens
I
to
don't know
our
what they're
show.
talking about. Yeah, she doesn't know.
Well, anyway,
How would she know?
I sent it to my softball buddies,
Just the reference.
and they were just like the group text we have every week. Like, hey, you in this week? And you just respond in or out. So the guy has a head count. I was like, guys, did you see this? And like, in my mind, I just pictured like 10 or 15 like middle-aged guys that some are not in the loop on this stuff. Like, oh my God. Oh, I got like everyone.
It was the best feeling.
Isn't there a documentary on the guy?
Yeah, but it was the best feeling.
Yeah, she watched that right after her old black and white movie Spot.
Jim Thorpe.
I watched Jim Thorpe, and then I watched a documentary about Wood and his penis.
You know, the naked black guy. Anyway,
Get out of here.
that was this weekend. We hope you enjoyed it.
I will not Photoshop that image on the screen.
A quick takeaway.
I will not.
Dog's daughter. Okay, go ahead.
Quick takeaway. Just a funny story. I came in today and I said, "You ever have like a moment where you're just highly impressed by something you would have never thought would stand the test of time? Like, oh wow, I bought these piece of shit shoes from H&M like a while ago.
Do you have them on?
No, I took them off.
But you have them with you. Yeah.
Ooh, show and tell.
Bought these piece of shit shoes for vacation. Like they're like vacation shoes.
Oh, they're like you could wear without socks, like with shorts to like a dinner.
I'm going to Hawaii. So what year was that? That was before the pandemic.
Did you go to Hawaii with your ex-wife?
No, he went to Hawaii with Jordan.
Oh, with Jordan, you went to Hawaii?
Yeah.
Why do I forget that? I'm sorry.
I don't know.
I remember your Japan trip that got canceled because of the pandemic. Anything before that feels like 25 years
Don't you
ago.
remember him in his little Hawaiian shirt, the pic photo they have
but
on
in my mind, anything before the pandemic feels like a different eternity.
I bought that Hawaiian shirt in Hawaii, but we wore it at the DBC.
Oh, no, but there's a photo of you looking very Hawaiian that I remember that was on your TV stand.
I always look vague,
No, you
like
know what I mean.
slightly Hawaiian.
But it was on your TV stand that when we used to come over to your house during the pandemic.
You're probably right.
I remember that.
I bought these shoes whatever year that was, and I rocked them, but I sort of kept them like, you know, hey, when I'm in vacation mode, because these are kind of lame shoes.
I don't think they're lame
But
shoes
then
at all.
when
They're
the summer-
they're pretty standard, like low top, just like summer shoes. Most people see those and they're like, yeah, they're like a basic pair of like low top summer
They're
shoes.
Gringo specials. So
Yeah,
anyway,
they're white guy shoes then.
Yeah.
I look at them and I'm like, that's a
and I
nice.
can pull them off because I'm slightly white guy, slightly vato, a little Hawaiian looking.
Not everyone wears sneakers, by the way.
Well, then you should, I think.
You think every guy's style
Sneakers
equals
that's not
like
you think that's a stretch? Sneakers. Yeah, but this has come from a guy that wore flip flops at Fox Sports Radio in October, mind you. But how does that make sense to you?
I can't.
Not everyone wears sneakers. You know who always wears sneakers? My dad, because he's 70 and he wears Rockports.
By the way, did you make a collage when you went to Hawaii?
No, but I got a lot of pictures. I'll find one.
Make a collage. Jordan, if I were Jordan, I'd be offended.
I got to be honest. I don't have a lot of great pictures of me and Jordan. I don't. I really like. No one takes them. Who takes? I'm not taking selfies.
That's how I feel.
Yeah, it's terrible.
The best photos of me I've taken.
Jordan's gorgeous. I wish I had more pictures
Franz.
of her and I.
Franz or me.
Like sometimes I look at her picture, I'm like, she's beautiful. Why is she wasting her time with me? I'll find some Hawaiian pictures. I'll look it up right now. Hawaii. Wow. Bikini shots. Whoa. I have a collage of bikini shots. Can you see that? Well, bam.
I have that same collage. Weird.
Let's see. I'll find you a nice Hawaiian photo. Anyway, the point is, this is a stupid photo. I mean, a stupid conversation. I bought these shoes with a sole purpose, pun intended.
I have like the same shoes, but they're from Old Navy.
No, these are from H&M. So yeah, they're like
same look,
generic fucking cheapies. And this summer came along, and I'm like, I've had these. I'm just gonna bust them out. I'll probably get a month or two out of them, then throw them away. These fuckers keep on going. This discussion is called "These shoes won't quit." These shoes won't quit. I was hoping to you know what? Let me get them out of my. I don't even want to look at them in my closet anymore. I'll rock them this summer a few times. They'll rip and I'll throw them away. These shoes won't quit.
I see a little
By the way,
scuff.
I just come back.
That comes right off.
I come back, by the way, and the first thing I see is flip-flops at the Fox Studios garbaggio behavior.
Yeah, bro. And in October, no less. Don't give me it's a summer day and you're hanging by the pool.
If people only knew what a sports radio studio looks like.
It's still a professional setting, bud.
It's gross. That Fox Sports radio studio is grosser than my college radio station.
It's still your job.
It's pretty gross.
It's
pretty gross. When was the last time you were in a studio that gross? I mean,
I said to by the way, I like got there and I went to pee and I'm like, what kind of fucking animals are using this bathroom? There was fucking
bunch of sports guys.
There was paper everywhere,
dude. I love going into the studio. I love going into the studio for the vibe.
I do.
I love our new coworkers there. But if you think that that's like a professional, state of the art, like it's a studio.
I said to Kristen yesterday, she's like, what are you doing? I'm gonna go in a shower so I can be all clean for a bunch of dudes in jerseys that smell like bratwurst.
That's what it is. It's a bunch of sports guys. It's like five middle-aged sports guys with Dak Prescott jerseys, and you're worried about me wearing flip-flops.
I sent you a Hawaiian picture spot. By the way, I love your new mic stand.
Thank
I want
you.
you to know I recognize it.
Thank you.
Spot's got a new handy little dandy
I
sort of.
got it because I was always holding my mic stand down here.
Yeah.
And then I would have to like lay my mic down to do work on the computer. But now I can just hands-free do work.
But it's a good visual. I
By the way,
like seeing it. It looks professional.
before you get back to your
if
sneaker,
you want one, I'll get you one.
before you
want
get back to your shoe, because I have thoughts on it, I do have to bring up one more thing.
Hold on, I got to get the Hawaiian shirt.
When we're at a studio,
My shoe.
when we were at SXM
Yeah.
and you made fun of me doing that, you
That's a
actually
lovely
had
photo. Jordan looks great in this photo.
you actually had a point because
What do you mean, actually?
No,
what a
no.
fucking condescending douche you are. You actually had a point.
By the way, you guys look great in this photo.
We look great always.
But I mean, in
real
this
life.
photo specifically.
Well, Jordan's very pretty.
Jordan
she
is
looks
very
really good
pretty.
in that
She looks
picture.
really good in that photo.
I mean, I look like a botchagaloop at the fucking, I don't know.
Joel.
Slightly Hawaiian. Look like a Hawaiian Guido.
Hey, they have gabagool in Hawaii.
because of the sunshine, because of the sunshine on that picture, it looks like you have like an extended goatee and not a beard,
An extended goatee.
like a neck goatee.
Can I get gabagool and
Looks like
pineapple?
your cheek has no hair on it. Like you just got.
Give me
Okay,
some
okay.
gabagool and pineapple.
Gabagool.
Bro, I found the lamest photo. There's a photo of
Can
me.
I get some poke gabagool?
Yo, I got a photo of me. Yo, I got the funniest photo of me underneath a real rainbow in Hawaii.
I have a really funny photo of you with the giraffe. Can I show that photo?
No. Anyway, continue Rich's point. Sorry.
That's all right. You tell me to bring it. Let me bring it.
Bring it, bro. Bring
All
it.
right. Then
Bring it,
then
bro.
you wonder why I don't bring it.
I mean, who throws a shoe? Honestly.
So when we're at Sirius XM back in the day, in like, let's say the New York days, there was bosses, executives, big time celebrities, all these people coming in and out. And I still would argue during a summer day wearing flip-flops and you were like, yo, bro, gross. To compare that to a Sunday evening where there's we've never even met our Fox bosses yet.
He's fucking wearing flip-flops at the studio. Just saying.
Can you describe the
And then he
people we
takes
work
them
with?
off. He has the nerve to fucking kick them off. And his bare Cheetos are there. We put it in our Instagram story. Spot, you got the footage? It's in our Instagram story
I just,
at Covino
I
and
just
Rich.
wish people understood the dynamic of what it's like in a radio studio, depending on the.
like?
All right. It's not like we're on the main Fox
It's
set
your
where like
job,
cowherd.
bro. It's your job.
Okay. All right, Covino.
Excuse me. Offended.
Who,
Yeah,
me?
it's not that big of a deal. Whatever. It's
Okay.
fun. It's all in fun.
It's all in good fun.
It's all in good fun. I don't care. Rock your Cheetos. It's your style. It's your thing. So, mind you, we work with like sneakerheads.
Look at those things.
Sneakerhead.
Yeah, we work with guys who are like all about their sneakers. This guy wears no shoes at all. Like he's a Von Erich brother
Look at those
with
things.
his flip flops on the floor. Like
Those are
what
nice.
a weak style that
Those
is.
are nice flip flops.
No, they're not. They're lame.
No,
So
they were
anyway.
nice flip flops.
Fox Sports Radio. Check our
I
podcast.
like that. Where'd you get those?
These bad boys were meant for the sole purpose, pun intended, like I said, of just like, I'm going to beat them down so I could throw them away. These shoes won't quit. I thought they would last me this summer. They won't go away. And it made me think of Rich's Jeepers update. Do you have a Jeepers update for us?
I do.
And do you have any other? These things won't quit. I do stand by. You get what you pay for. These fucking cheapies. I've been rocking them every day all summer, and they're still going. I'm just so like amazed by it. Like this piece of shit. Sometimes the cheap, you get like these little gifts. Like man, I would have never thought that this dollar store item that I bought would give me this much legs, would last this long. It just won't quit. How about your Jeeper update?
Well, things that won't quit.
Rich's Bobos.
Things that won't quit. By the way, your best quote last night, I agree with Lonnie. What's up, Lonnie? How are you, buddy? Miss you. When he said, what am I doing a show with a fucking Von Erich brother?
Guy's barefoot.
Barefoot?
In the studio.
So, Covino, those shoes you have, I feel like, other than the white part being a little dirty, but I know.
I usually
you clean those up.
But this is
to
how
me, that's
little
a
I
fine,
care.
That's a
I don't
good
care
look.
about
That's a
these.
good looking shoe. I feel like that's a nice like
Of
summer or
course.
fall shoe. That's my style.
But you and I are different guys.
Yeah, I
Right.
wouldn't. I'm not a sneaker guy. I'd rock those. I think those are nice. I mean, they're a cheaper version because they're what $20 H&M type of sneakers. But that style is very common for white people, I guess, right? Now, as far as things that don't quit, I want to read the answers from you guys because I guarantee you've gotten one thing. Might have been a freebie. Might have been somewhere, and it is a lifetime.
You
I
ever
got
have
3
a-
written down.
Okay, perfect.
All right, I
perfect.
got actually 4.
I have one too.
We got a free Aramis bag years ago.
Yeah.
It was like a light brown leather carry-on bag, and inside there was a toiletry case.
Yeah.
I've been using that for like 15 years.
Yeah.
It's my favorite thing. Much like Spot
gave you
and
a new one, too.
Yeah, Spot.
I actually had one. I know Rich loved it,
We made a deal. We were on a business trip. I got a hotel suite, and Covino got a bunk room. And I go, I'll give you the suite. I'll take the bunk room. You were with Jordan. I was by myself. I said, in exchange for your unused toiletry bag.
I had the Aramis bag. I never used it. So I was like, done.
To me, Aramis bag, number one.
That was, see, again, and it was a freebie. Shit kept going.
Number
Won't
two.
quit.
Number two. Me and Spot both use it. You might use it as well. I got an Under Armour backpack from a Super Bowl giveaway.
I gave mine to Spot.
I thought I might use it like one time or a couple times here and there. It's become my permanent like backpack carry on a flight. I fucking love our Spot, our blue and gray Under Armour bag.
Oh yeah,
it's part of the. It's in the rotation.
Won't quit.
Sarah got a $6 sweatshirt. We were chilly in San Francisco, and there was a bodega. They were like, everything's got to go. It's like a hoodie, like a $6. It was $6, and I go, $6 for real? She still wears that once in a while. We went to San Francisco probably a decade ago.
It's amazing.
So sometimes these things don't quit.
Like John Z says, John Zio. Sometimes you buy shitty slides and sandals, and they shrink on you in the sunlight, and you're like, yep, because you get what you pay for. But sometimes there's a gift from the gods, and you're like, why this? Just won't quit. Why this shoe? I got just a few more answers to piggyback what Rich is saying. An ex-girlfriend from 105 years ago bought me like a Seiko watch, and I just never threw it away. It sat in a jewelry box. I bust that shit out. It's one of those kinetic watches. This shit's still going. I'm like, this shit is still going?
That's the point of a kinetic
I know,
watch.
but like, it's so old, Spot.
As long as you keep moving, it keeps moving.
I mean, I get it, but it hasn't been moving. It's been sitting in my fucking jewelry box. But either way, it's like, wow. It's not a Timex, but it took a licking. It kept on ticking. All these years, this thing still looks good. Anyway, another one. I have a Panasonic alarm clock that I've had in my childhood room. In my very first room.
I still have a Sony Dream Machine.
It's the oldest thing I own. It's in my daughter's room now. That shit is still going. My mom knows which one I'm talking about. It's a Panasonic alarm clock, still going. I have an Arelco beard trimmer that I use till this day. It's a vacuum beard trimmer.
The vacuum one I had.
My high school girlfriend bought me that shit. I still trim the huevos with this particular beard trimmer till this day. I've had that shit since I was like 16. And speaking of backpacks, I have a Samsonite from 2001. Swanson Samsonite backpack from the X Games 2001. That shit is 20 years old. I still use that. It's my sling backpack that I use on every business trip till this day.
Because it has a huge Velcro part. And I'm like, there's probably hairs from every girl you ever dated in that Velcro.
There are. Shit won't quit.
You know how much DNA can be found in Covino's backpack with the Velcro?
Gross.
Shitty shoes to the list. Anyway, what's your Jeeper update?
Wrap it up. Oh, sorry.
Oh, you got some?
No, I was gonna say I have a luggage that I've been holding on to.
Won't quit.
Yeah,
it traveled with us on our very first trip for Maxim Radio to spring break to Mexico.
Sometimes you gotta just say this motherfucker.
I still got it.
Spot brings up a good one. Spot brings up a good one. I'll tell you why.
I need new. But
because
I need new luggage.
anytime I've ever gone to buy luggage, I have an old guy mentality about it because I'm like, even though believe it or not, we travel way more than the average person pre-pandemic, a lot, but we still travel more than the average person. There was a time before the pandemic where we were probably flying once a month or every other month doing something, right?
We're moderate travelers.
Yeah, you're more than a moderate
traveler. It was out of
Spot.
control at one point. 2007 was our most traveled year by far.
I look up, I used to keep a nice little log and journal of me and Sarah's travels and our work travels. There were years where we flew twice a month.
This guy's making journals. This guy's making collages. What are you guys doing back there?
You're making candles.
Log boy.
I sell.
We could open a craft shop together.
By the way, new fall scents coming out today.
So
beardedwithcandles.com.
Noise. How come I ain't got one of those leather ones? El Cucuy wants to know.
Because
next time I'm lighting it up, farting up a storm in the bedroom. I need one of those.
It was a limited edition. Sorry.
Oh, okay.
Bring over a nice fall scent Spot. We'll light it up in here.
Bearded Wick.
I got
that's pines and needles. That's winter, Covino.
We're
gonna use pine and needles once it's
whatever covers up the farts.
Once it's Christmas time.
I have boozy scents. I have bourbon and apple.
Maybe you.
It's not bourbony. It's not too bourbony. And pumpkin rum. And then I also think I might make a limited edition pumpkin spice latte candle.
Let's do it
because everyone's so basic.
Limited edition.
I like it, Spot.
So everything that you buy that falls apart, and you're like, motherfucker, there are those little treasures that just keep on going.
So luggage. I always had the old guy mentality of, well, what am I going to buy? Louis Vuitton $2,000 bags? No. I'd go to Macy's or Target or Kohl's back in the day, and I would be like, all right, what's a suitcase? $60? Fine. And I would go through the mentality of like, if it breaks, what if I get a couple years out of it?
Yeah, who cares?
Yeah, you're right. I've had shitty suitcases for years. And I'm like,
that's crazy.
And I'm like, these things have way lasted me longer than I possibly would have ever wished for.
Gotta give it credit, man. Like, man, if these shoes could talk, what about those bad boys?
Well, I have an update on these bad boys.
Let's see. Give me a one shot.
These bad boys.
These are fucking
We sit up-
atrocious. Atrocious,
Go,
like,
it's- I can-
like the hairline
I can-
of Scotty Brocious.
Can dip you down a bit.
Atrocious, like the hairline
That's
of
all right,
Scotty Brocious.
These bad boys. Which, by the way, they're super comfy. These were the $9 Walmart bad boys that the guys made fun of me for. Rightfully so. But the same way we all have like one or two kick around shitty shoes, like the same way you would wear a pair of Crocs to take out the fucking trash. These were $9. And I said, for $9? It's a fine looking shoe for $9 just to run errands and go around.
Yeah, but they became your sneakers. Stop lying.
They became
I
my
saw
sneakers.
you rocking them.
They became
You're
my
lying.
sneakers when I wore them to
Yeah.
Fox Sports one time.
They became your sneakers. Yeah.
But you know what?
like those slides that
I
you
was
think
at,
you're only wearing around the house.
I was at Ralph's with Emmy.
Of course
Doing grocery shopping, which is the perfect place to wear. $9 shoe.
Your sneakers.
yeah, you brought Ben. Ben was tearing stuff off shelves.
And I take the shoe
Ben shop.
and the shopping cart. I scrape my shoe along the bottom of the shopping cart, just like you would just bang your foot. Like normally you'd be like, yeah, whatever, no big deal, right?
Are you kidding me?
Rich had his big toe sticking out of it. He ripped it.
It like the material.
Yeah, it's a piece of shit.
Yeah, it's a piece of shit shoe.
So give us our one shot again.
It's an
buddy.
It's an air hole. That's a two.
Yeah.
This is a two shot.
Give us our two shot because there's two of us, right? That's why.
Yes.
For every one of these that just they won't quit, you get what you pay for,
Yeah.
and it's one of those.
But you know what? These were $9. This was the price. These shoes, the sneakers that lasted me.
Mine were about maybe 20.
And you know
tops.
what? I don't think they're done yet. I could still wear these bad boys.
Fuck those.
No, but
Trash 'em.
these
Burn
$9
those
these
bad boys.
$9 shoes,
Throw them behind the barn and shoot them.
these $9 shoes were less than the price of 2 cups of coffee.
Yeah, well,
So I feel like I got it. I got the worth of it.
Well-
that's what you get for $9. But you know what?
this is my shoes won't quit. Everybody has those little treasures. Every time you buy some shit and it falls apart a week after you get it, you got to remember, well, I did buy those sneakers for $20 and they're still going. So it all balances out. It all comes out in the wash, as my mom would say. But
Yeah.
thank you guys for
The
hanging out with
your
us.
mom would say it all comes out in the wash.
In the wash,
Rich,
drinking my coffee.
Rich, you didn't. Is it true you didn't buy Nikes? You bought Psyches.
Psyches.
Bobos.
Thanks, Alex Effort.
Thank you for the efforts. All
Rich's
right.
shoes are weak.
Those shoes are weak. I never said they were great. I would never wear them on a date night. I would never wear them somewhere important.
Rich's shoes are weak.
And by the way,
But you're right. You end up like, while I never wore them anywhere, quote, important, you do start to wear them places where, like, as the old Adam Carolla bit goes, you wear indoor slippers and then you're like, oh, I'll take out the trash. Oh, you know what? I'll go to the mailbox. All right, I got to run to 7-Eleven. And then you start wearing your slippers out and about. And then you become the guy that wears slippers places.
now you're that guy. Oh, I'm so glad you brought that up. Wearing your slippers, because it's part, again, the show unfurls the way it's supposed to. Have something about that next. Keep that in mind.
Can't say coming up next.
Bought these for Hawaii. Cliff Maisaka says, I'm crazy to think that I look Hawaiian at all. Hey, I never said I did, but guess who thought I was?
Everyone in Hawaii.
Everyone in Hawaii. I got the local discount.
Yeah, you got the loco discount.
So think what you want. I think I look like exactly what I am, but I'm telling you how other people see me, bruv. So
You're vaguely
like Asian or something. I don't know.
Pacific Islander.
Yeah, like I was in Hawaii and was getting the local discount on the meals that I was getting. Jordan, as my witness, she was laughing at it. She's like, "Oh my god, I think you're Hawaiian." So I was like,
Mahalo.
what is this mahala haka haka discount that I got?
Aloha.
It says minus 20%.
Yeah. Oh, that's the local discount. I'm like, oh, thanks, bruv.
Maka.
I agree.
Yeah.
I agree. Find someone that treats you the way Covino treats his shoes.
Come on, I want to lay ya.
Thank you, buddy. Thank you. All right, so let's talk about dudes that wear sandals at the supermarket with the socks. I'm talking cholos for a second, okay? You ready for some cholo talk real quick? It doesn't have to be long.
Yeah, make it snappy, like a rubber band sandwich, as you said. Because I
like
really
this
have not much. I have not
really?
much to say about cholo. Like guys that wear flip flops and sandals.
This is a
I'm sorry, guys that wear socks with flip flops. I assume it's like a cultural thing that I just like. Hey, I see so many.
This is a
Hispanic.
trifecta. This is a
I see so many
trifecta story.
Hispanic guys doing it. What am I going to question a whole culture?
This story is a 3-part tale. So I don't know if do you have time for this?
We have an hour. Go ahead.
I can make it as snappy as possible.
Go ahead.
The cholo scene is a real scene, right? It's not my scene, but props to the Vatos Locos forever. You know, I'm slightly cholo. I like it. I lean like a cholo. Sandals, socks, high socks, longer the sock, down to the fool, Dickie shorts,
I've always
long
heard that.
t-shirts.
Is that true? Oh,
Creeper! Right? There's a lot of that.
Higher the socks.
Down to the fool.
Down
Crystal
to the
knows what
fool.
I'm talking about.
That's a true statement.
Orale. So,
Oh, what the fuck happened?
What?
Like all of a sudden the market everything that was going good, like all at once, everything like, does that mean like Joe Biden said something? Jobs report, what happened?
fucking cholos.
Come on, man.
Something. Come on, man. Come on, man.
Fucking cholos, not portfolios.
Like something
Salute.
just happened, like where everything like, all right, go on.
So, this is a real culture, real style. And I think like it's great for what it is. And hey, I'll watch some Blood In, Blood Out, and I want to put a bandana on like right away.
You should.
Orale! Like I love that shit. However, if I'm watching The Many Saints of Newark, I'm like, ooh, gabagoo, ooh, gabagoo. So this is no disrespect. This is just my observations. Did you guys know, we may have touched on it in the past, but this is a really sort of growing trend. The whole cholo vibe that we do see here and there on the West Side is a big thing in the Japanese culture. Have you guys seen this? Google spot. Just
Japanese cholos?
Google Japanese cholos.
No.
It's the fucking greatest thing.
How did you find this?
Bro, I get cholo alerts. You don't sign up? You don't subscribe?
Where do you get that? Was that that site you follow?
Yeah. What? House of Chingasos? No, how about Foos Gone Wild? Foos Gone Wild.
Foos Gone Wild?
Foos Gone Wild. Did you see that magician I'm hiring? Foodini? Have you heard of Foodini?
No, I haven't heard of Foodini.
Spot, please pull it up, bro. It's on Foos Gone Wild. Foos Gone Wild. You don't know Foodini? I'm hiring him for the next fight night, next party
I'm
we have.
excited to see this.
The next corporate event we have, I'm hiring Foodini.
Yo, what up, fool?
Foodini. What up? What up, fool? What up? And then we'll talk about the Asians real quick.
Hold on, look at the great Foodini.
The Great Foodini is fantastic. He's coming to
Is there audio? Wait,
our next corporate event.
Oh yeah, sorry. The great Foodini?
You don't know Foos Gone Wild?
Well, I want to see what this guy's all about.
Oh, man.
The great Foodini.
What's up, fool?
I'm sorry.
Oh my God!
Oh, I gotta watch this again. I gotta watch this again.
If you're not watching,
I gotta
he just made one
Hold on.
Corona beer turn into
Hold on.
two Corona beers.
Watch his face. Foodini.
Hold on.
Yo.
That
suck
guy.
it.
Oh,
Yeah,
my
bro.
That's
So you can see why the Asians are like, there's something to the scene. The lowrider cholo vato scene in Japan is like
look at these
next
Japanese
level.
cholos.
There's something called Japanese cholos. They've embraced, and think about it though. Think about it. I know we don't think about it, so I'm forcing you to think about this. Whether you laugh at the whole style, the cholo style, it is a style, right? It's a look.
Squid Game 2.
It's a look. And
People are
these,
saying the lowrider scene in Japan is
Bro,
crazy.
Squid Game Season 2.
it's next level. It's
all
and you know
cholos.
they're trendsetters. The Japanese people are trendsetters.
They are,
They've
yeah.
embraced. They've took this look and they rock the guinea tee. They rock the mustache,
Whoa,
the
whoa,
bandana,
whoa.
the dickies,
Guinea tee? What the-
the sandals and the slides, and they're like, orale. There's a whole scene that's exploding, and it's been going on. We've touched on it in the past, but it's blowing up even more now for whatever reason. They've adapted this West Coast style in Japan. What is a lifestyle out here in the Cholo world with the Mexicans here, with Mexican Americans, is a style that they are pushing and making money off of. Like it's a lifestyle
well,
now
that's
in Japan.
cultural appropriation, if you ask me.
I mean, I don't give a fuck. I don't know how like Vatos feel about it, but I think it's hilarious.
Like culture is not your
I
costume.
think it's great. I think it's so cool because they're like, no, this isn't just the look. This is a style, and we're sort of running with it.
That's great and all, but I'm more interested in how do we hire the great Foodini for an event? That is,
I'm looking into it. The great Foodini. So Food's gone wild in Japan now. Food's gone wild. Japanese cholos are the real deal. Foodini, bro. Foodini.
Look at this. It's like, is it like sleight of hand? How does he do it?
Yeah, it's amazing.
That's amazing.
I don't know how he did it.
You got to invite this guy. I mean, he's great. He's incredible.
Great
The
Foodini.
music makes it.
Yeah.
Great
So
Foodini.
Japanese
Foodini.
cholos are a thing. Now, think about this. I'm going to force you to think about it. Let's say a little Japanese kid grows up in that culture. He's not going to lean toward
Like a cholo?
an Asian sort of style. He's going to lean toward the cholo style that they're rocking. Right? It's just how it is. Look at me. I'm a half-breed Mexican kid who grew up with a bunch of Italian and Irish kids.
So you became a Guido.
So I'm like a slightly Vato Guido kind of guy.
There's nothing really Vato about you. You're pretty much an Italian guy.
Think about-
if I met you and
Yeah.
didn't know
Yeah,
anything
'cause I'm-
called, if I didn't
'cause
know
I'm from
anything,
New Jersey.
if I didn't know that your mom
Yeah.
and her side of the family was Mexican, and you're you don't speak Spanish, you have zero cultural connection to Mexico, and I'm not saying you don't. I'm saying outwardly. Like if someone were to meet you, if you didn't have a look that like, oh, maybe he's vaguely Hispanic, you present as an Italian Jersey guy.
But I don't look that Italian. Like you could tell I'm
No, but
darker
that's what I'm
than
saying.
the-
So
I present.
You present.
Right.
So like if you looked
Yeah.
less Hispanic, more Italian, people wouldn't even have an idea
Gabagoo.
that you were Mexican.
Right. So I start thinking about our buddy El Cucuy, right? El Cucuy, that means the boogeyman in Spanish,
It does.
right? El Cucuy's Italian.
Baba
I want you to
Yaga.
know this. If you listen to El Cucuy on the after show, but later, and if you meet El Cucuy like we have, this dude is like William Forsythe in American Me. He's like Miklo in Blood In, Blood Out. Pull up William Forsythe in American Me spot. If you could find a clip, please look it up.
about
William
John Forsythe?
American Me.
I know who William Forsythe is.
He is an Italian guy who's more Mexican than any cholo from the barrio because he grew up with all these Mexican dudes. This dude.
You're a product of your environment. It's like it's
okay.
white guys that grow up in the hood.
I'm glad you said it. I haven't said it yet.
White,
Product
it's
of
like
your environment.
How do you explain the free pass that some white guys get if they grew up and they were the one white guy with all black dudes and Hispanic dudes? Like, if you see some guy, some white dude that's like, yeah, I grew up in the Bronx. I was the only white kid in my high school.
El Cucuy.
That kid has like
Sweet stock
he
photo.
has more of a connection to.
There's William
He has
Forsythe.
more of a connection to African American culture, Hispanic culture, because if all your friends and everyone other than your immediate family that you surround yourself with, your coworkers, your
Okay.
classmates, your
All right.
neighborhood kids,
Are you
He's
sure about this?
He's almost Mexican.
I feel like yes, that's. I mean,
Are
look
you
at,
sure about this?
Why are you asking me if I'm sure?
Just cause I'm about to make a point and you're gonna be like,
I'm gonna
really?
I'm gonna raise my hand if I'm sure.
Okay. So El Cucuy, Italian guy who's like, orale, what's up, home?
Yeah, what is El Cucuy? Mexican, Puerto Rican,
He's Italian, but
and
and Italian. And he grew up with a bunch of vatos. So he's like, he's more vato
he's
than
a
Daniel.
fraud.
He's more vato than Daniel Javier Fitz, who's full-blooded Mexican. Because what, Rich? You said you're a product of your environment.
Yeah, look at Rude Jude. That's a great example, Lynn. Rude Jude grew up in Detroit.
Product of your environment.
Everyone, if you hear Rude
Okay.
Jude from SiriusXM's voice, people think he's a black dude. Rude
Barp,
Jude
barp.
is a
how
white
come-
dude.
So how come, and I really
barp.
start thinking about this. Because then I start thinking about, let's just say, I'm going to make it very vague and very just
Barp, barp.
thought-provoking. If
Barp,
all
barp.
kids out here
Barp,
on the
barp.
West Coast have green hair, right?
Yeah.
And we start normalizing green hair, aren't more kids who weren't exposed to green hair more likely to have green hair growing up because they're exposed to it and they're products of their environment?
Yeah, I mean, I've
Like
said,
that
I've
little,
said
like
to-
the little Asian kid who now dresses
Hold
like a
on.
cholo. Why does he dress like a cholo? Because he's a product of what he's seeing in his community.
Yeah, but I've said this to you before.
No, but
and
people argue that that kids are not influenced. When I'm here to tell you through this thought process that kids are very much influenced by what we're normalizing as a society.
Jason Brown brings up I'm referring to assimilation. It's
No. Because
Nature
we have this
versus nurture.
discussion and you guys dismiss this train of thought every time.
When?
Okay.
No, I don't even remember. I must have not been listening.
Well, because my example wasn't green hair. I'm just trying to
even-
keep other
When did we have
social
this
issues.
conversation and we dismissed it?
Yeah, I've never had
all
this
the time.
conversation with you.
I'm taking other social
Okay.
influences
You're right.
and social movements out of the conversation. I'm just saying, hey, if we say everybody has green hair and that's great, and everybody has green hair, especially in California, then more kids who are exposed to green hair are more likely to have green hair.
Are you sure you have this
Because
conversation with us?
It's not about green hair. It's about
But-
being a product of your environment.
Which I believe in. So I can't believe that
Okay.
we've never had this argument
it's
because
about
I agree
childhood
with you.
influence.
Because I've said
You
before,
could
I've said
easily
before,
influence a child. Period.
I've said before. That's how I know I haven't had this conversation with you and argued you
It was-
because
'cause
I
we
know
have.
that I
Yes,
grew up
we have.
I grew up on Long Island, and I said that if I grew up,
You guys
somewhere-
are too dense to see it. We've had the same
you
train of thought
talking
conversation
about?
1,000
You
times.
win, dude.
We fought about this 1,000 times. And I'm saying, well, kids are easily influenced on things.
right.
You can't
You're the
influence
man.
kids with these things. And people are like, why? I'm like, because kids pick up on things all the time that they normally wouldn't go to, but they do now because they're influenced. No. Yes, they do. Yes. No, we've had this conversation like 1,000 times. 1,000 times. But it wasn't about green hair. It's about the influence that we as adults have on children. It's true, no matter how you slice it or dice it. Anyway, if you want to forget about that, the Japanese cholo scene is the real deal. I could just bring it back to that.
Amazed.
Just wanted to bring it back to
I'm
that.
amazed by the Japanese cholo scene.
if you were,
Who would have thought?
if your circle of friends
Looks like
growing
you in
up
the-
were
that looks like
different.
you in the center, Covino.
Is that Covino with glasses on?
No, Covino's the guy in the hat right here. No, this guy right here.
Oh, okay.
We're all products of our environment.
Yeah, I mean
And
that's obvious. Like if you grew up around a bunch of kids that
dropping deuces.
if you grew up with a bunch of people that were into rock music and tattoos, then you probably will be like,
Then, Rich, the train of thought needs to be consistent, and it's not when it comes to social issues. It's not. It just
but
isn't.
who's arguing?
know what
I
I-
don't know
you
anyone
know
that
what I-
argues you because if I grew up in
I'm not looking to
All right,
argue.
No, but you're saying like people are. I think everyone is agree. I think it'd be hard to find someone that doesn't agree with you. If I grew up instead of growing up with a bunch of nerdy
on.
kids in Nassau County, Long Island, if I grew up in the Bronx, I probably would have been a little harder, right? Now, if I grew up in Texas opposed to New York, I probably would have had different values or thoughts and been into different things. You are a product of your environment. Who would argue such an obvious point?
But then I look at like my family, right? My family dynamic, like my brother, James. He and I are nothing alike. And we grew up in the same household. We went to the same school from kindergarten through 12th grade.
Yeah.
He, I think, is a product actually of the fact he reminds me a lot of you.
Yeah.
Like I think that's like the
Same
the
friends,
age group
same
generation type of friends. You know, like you were only a few towns away.
Yeah.
I think that age group influenced him, and his friends influenced him.
But you tell me
but
in the
it was
same
the
breath that
same
kids aren't
environment.
influenced.
I never said that.
Okay. All
Yeah,
right.
but none of us ever said this.
Okay.
Because I've always said that depending on where you
Are you?
are you
speaking?
thinking you having a conversation with someone else?
No.
I think you really are confusing this. You're gonna come back and be like, "Yo, bro, I had that fight with my buddy Gus or something." Because
No, I have this discussion all the time.
There are
I'm like,
influences. Are
we
you
gotta
talking
be
about
careful
like?
of what we expose kids to.
Are you talking about,
because
like-
they're easily influenced?
Are you talking
the more
about
we
like
normalize things?
grander? Like
No, I'm talking about green hair spot. I mean, are you fucking that dense?
clearly we are because we're
Okay.
not following what you're saying.
Okay, well, I apologize.
I think
That
he's speaking more
Your pea brain.
I think
you
he's
got peas
speaking
on
Talking
your
about
more
head.
like sexuality.
yeah, he's
I'm
dancing around
talking
issues.
about everything.
He's dancing around issues.
Everything.
Oh,
I'm making a
he's
point.
dancing. Okay.
I'm not dancing. I'm making a point about you. You say one thing, and then you totally contradict yourself with another thing.
But there's level of influence.
Oh, really? I don't think so.
I
I
s-
see
I think
how
just-
kids behave.
Are you saying that?
I see it with my own
Are you
eyes.
comparing like a kid's going to be confused about their sexuality by their group of friends versus?
No, I'm saying kids are more likely to dabble in things that they wouldn't normally dabble in because they're exposed to it. Because they're exposed to it.
Nature versus nurture and assimilation are different conversations. Maybe you're confusing that. I've always said
I'm not confusing
I've
shit.
always said that.
Let
I've
me make
always,
that clear.
I've even speculated with you and other friends like, hey, if I had a different group of friends, what type of music would I have been into? If I had a different group of friends, would I have been into baseball as much? Like, what if I hung out with the lacrosse kids? Would I have been like, let me play lacrosse instead? Like, of course, you're a product of your neighborhood, your environment, the kids that you grew up with. None of the kids in my life growing up in high school We drank fucking wine coolers and schnapps when someone's mom or dad went on bowling night. If I grew up with kids that were doing if I grew up with kids that were smoking weed and snorting coke and taking pills when they were teenagers, hey, maybe I would have went down a bad path. You are a product of these things. So I'm wondering what the bigger picture is. Are you talking about politically, sexually? Like,
it doesn't have to be. I'm just making a point. If every kid in LA has green hair, kids are exposed to it, and they're more likely to have green hair.
Because I've even
You
said
could say-
I've
you
even
could
said
fucking say that about anything.
I've even said to you that
But when it
raising
comes-
my kids in LA versus if I was in Texas, I know that that's a difference. I've said these things.
But
so
green hair is one thing. I think the bigger the issues become,
It still
think,
applies. It still applies because yes, it does. It still applies because it becomes the normal thing. Not saying it's a bad thing. Let me make that very clear. But when you expose kids to these things and it becomes normal and it's being pushed as like, yeah, this is cool and that's fine and dandy, kids are more likely to, and that explains why there's so many kids with green hair.
If you're
Yes.
like Jason's saying,
Yes.
maybe it's just me, but I have no idea what point Covino's trying to make.
That's fine.
Sorry, it's not clear to me. Break it down, Covino, Barney style, whatever that is.
I don't need to. If
Like-
you can't read between the lines, that's on you. not
like
on me.
if my niece, I'll take it away from you. If my niece, who's the same age as Melody, goes to school and like her friends are friends on her softball team are making out with each other and she's not into that, doesn't mean she's going to start making out with other girls.
Doesn't mean, but it's more likely to happen if she's surrounding herself by that, for sure. Because you're a product of your environment. You can't say yes to that, but no to that. Because the more you see it, the more normal it becomes.
There are strong-
He
there's
makes a
always
point,
been
but
strong
you make a
influences.
point, but I'm not arguing you. I agree that
I'm not
you're going to be
arguing either.
but you're going to be influenced. And yes, I agree. A great example would be something controversial like the vaccine or the coronavirus, right? Depending on where you live in the country, your friends and family are going to be different.
Like I had friends,
right?
I had friends in let's say high school, right?
Hold on, my
I had
point's the
friends
best
who
one. My point's the best one.
I think I got the best point.
I had
So
friends
let's
who
who's
smoked,
got the best point? Let's go. Go ahead.
drank, smoked weed. I didn't do any of that shit until I was fucking older.
Okay.
So it wasn't an
So
influence to me.
you're saying
I
that-
was
you're saying that
influenced by my family.
You had friends that no offense, because you and I both were pretty nerdy when we were younger. Your nerdy circle was doing heavy drugs.
Not heavy drugs.
They were smoking
Okay.
weed probably in someone's basement.
Yeah, that's
I'm
not heavy.
saying spot. If you hung out with, I'm saying neither one of us. Covino seemed to avoid
I'm
it.
like, nah, I
Covino
don't
hung
wanna
out with
smoke
kids
weed.
that were doing.
There's a
like,
reason I avoided it.
drugs.
Drugs ruined my family.
Yeah.
Ruined my family. Ruined the lives of many relatives that are no longer in my family because of this. So I was like, well, if there's going to be any lesson learned from this tragedy, I'm not going to do drugs. So that's why.
Yeah. I'm just saying, depending on where you live, social issues, and I'll give you a great example, was the virus, masks, right? You go to Texas. And I was living in Texas during most of the middle of the beginning of this year. I lived in Texas for 6 months. I was going to the gym.
Hop along Dickie.
No one was wearing a mask. All of Sarah's friends and family were like, yeah, the virus ain't nothing. Who cares? Most of them weren't vaccinated. It was a different life. In Los Angeles, our friend Shannon was like a vaccine pusher. Spot was vaccinated. We ended up getting vaccinated. My New York friends are split in the middle. Everything from culture to social issues to everything will change based on where you live. So I agree with you 1 billion%. You are influenced if you hang out, again, if you're the white kid that's living in the Bronx and you hang out with a bunch of Puerto Rican and black kids growing up, you're not going to be a
Or if
nerdy
you're-
white kid.
You're the white Italian kid who hangs in the barrio. You're now El Cucuy.
Like I'm a
Orale.
100% Italian guy from New Jersey.
Spot, you're an anomaly.
You would think
really
that I would
are.
be like,
Hey, fucking gabagool. Hey, motherfucker guy.
You're one of the few. You're one of the few guys that are not like that.
Are not like that.
So you're probably making the other
so
argument.
I am right. I'm
You're
honestly,
saying that you're influence zero.
Think of the little Asian kid, right?
I feel
Who's-
like I had a
who's-
strong family background.
Think of the little Japanese kid
No one in my family was like that.
that grew up, that's born in Japan, but now he's dressing like a cholo. He would have never dressed like a cholo if he wasn't influenced by the now cholo scene that's in Japan.
That should show how like strong and independent.
Meaning,
I'm a
there's
man of one.
heavy influence from your environment. And I'm telling you, I'm seeing it, and I'm seeing it.
And you know what, Spot? It has nothing to do with weak or strong character. It has because these are not all drugs or bad things. Like, I'll give you a great example. We work at ESPN. All the guys we work with, we're so into the NBA that by default, Covino and I started to become more into the NBA. And it wasn't just for work.
Yeah,
it was because...
But you're missing the greater point. If you're not influenced, right?
Yeah.
If that little Japanese kid never had that influence, his chances of being a cholo are slim to none because he's never been influenced.
You guys work with a bunch of LA Latinos and a world-renowned soccer player and still never investigated soccer.
Yeah, but...
No, but you know what I do know, Spot? More
Football.
about soccer. No, I know.
Football.
But football is life, and I know more about it.
The
But
seed was planted that...
I played football and I
seed
still
was
don't know.
planted that, hey, man, football's life.
Football.
You know.
yeah, but the point, Spot, that I was making more is that if Covino and I spent 2 years with people that lived and breathed the NBA, and if we hung out with people, if we hung out with people...
Tennis throwing heat today.
Oh, what is she saying?
She said that you sway with the you go wherever the wind blows. That's how influenced
I don't even know
you
what that
are.
means.
Well, actually, that is the final point I wanted to make.
We hung out with
Everything
NBA
that we
guys.
said in this discussion does come down to people that are easy influenced and people that influence. Which one are you?
I like Covino. I see you set up a strong foundation for your daughter. That's
try.
something you should be proud of. I think
No matter what, though, she'll be a product of her environment. Guaranteed.
somewhat, but I still think that you are her environment and your influence counts just as much.
No.
Disagreed.
I got another example for you.
All right.
And you could take this conversation for what it is. I see these kids. I listen to what they're talking about. I see what their
your
teachers
daughter
are
an
talking
asexual
about.
Xenu, or does she
No.
act like a girl?
She is cisgender,
Oh God.
which means she's a girl who presents as a girl, right?
What is it again?
Yeah, I said.
No,
I
but-
said,
no, but I'm
excuse
just-
me. What are you telling me right now?
CIS, right?
Cis, meaning she has to identify herself. I am a girl who presents as a girl. It's like, yeah, no shit. I'm like, wait a second.
And her pronouns are he, her.
Teachers on their little boilerplates, their little forms, identify themselves. The teachers in LA. These kids are obsessed with labels and pronouns. Obsessed. Mind you, they're 11, right? Obsessed. Jordan's brother is the same age in Idaho. Has no fucking idea what that even means. So, who's more likely to take on a different persona based on their influence?
Yeah,
Don't tell me
there's
fucking
always the
one
city,
thing and then
there's always
deny the other.
city versus the
But who's more
non-city
likely?
influence.
Who's more likely
you're-
based on influence?
You're not listening to his point, then, Spot.
I
If
hear
that's
his
not
point.
that's a great. His example is
Jordan
he's
asked
giving.
her
He's
brother.
giving.
He's 12. He had no fucking clue what that meant.
Covino's daughter, and Jordan's brother are the same exact age, and they are growing up in completely different environments.
Who's denying what he's saying?
But who's more likely to adapt to those things?
Melody is more likely to be like, Dad, I think I might be whatever sexual.
Because she's influenced.
Because everyone in the school is like questioning her sexuality. Meanwhile,
the teachers, the adults, everybody, you know, like, yeah, it's the greatest. And I'm not saying it's not, but don't tell me that there's no influence. I don't care. I love my daughter. I love these kids. They're great kids. They're all great kids. That's not my point. Do not tell me that you don't have great influence. You do. You absolutely do. Jordan's brother has no idea what this means. None. He's less likely. Doesn't mean he won't adapt to these things. Doesn't mean it's good or bad. What I'm saying is less likely to lean like a cholo. The motherfucking end. Fuck all of you guys.
goodness. I learned something that was insensitive that I didn't even think about. And I learned it on one of my favorite shows, The Morning Show, which, by the way, brings the fucking heat.
I'm listening. Gotta take a Waz. This Waz break brought to you by these motherfucking nuts. The Morning Show. Carry on.
The Morning Show could very well be the best show on television. I mean, Ted Lasso's funny. Ted Lasso is lovable. But as far as like drama, Morning Show is fantastic. The weather guy on the Morning Show. I'm not giving away any spoilers. I just never even thought of this. Right now they're up to when the pandemic starts. So it's pretty cool to see how the show is handling the last year or so of our lives. Morning show is great. The weather guy is reporting about Punxsutawney Phil seeing his shadow or not. And he said, Punxsutawney Phil.
Phil?
The groundhog.
Phil Connors?
Ned? Needle-nosed Ned? Ned in the head? Ned Ryerson? He talks about how the groundhog is his spirit animal, which is something you hear women say all the time. Like, oh, it's my spirit animal.
Pumpkin spice lattes are my spirit animal.
Apparently he's saying spirit animal is cultural appropriation because you're saying something's your spirit animal and that's Native Americans have spirit, they're spiritual like that. So if you say,
what's my spirit animal?
My spirit animal is a leopard, someone would say like, yo, cultural appropriation. You're not Native American, so you can't have a spirit animal.
I think Lambert's my spirit animal.
What sticks their head in the sand?
Lambert.
Is it an ostrich? What sticks their head in the sand?
Yeah, an ostrich.
Yeah, you're an ostrich.
Me?
Yeah.
My head's in the sand? Why? Because it's up my ass?
Every time you've heard a girl,
Funny, I think I just made a great trifecta of a point.
Every time you've heard a girl on Instagram or TikTok say, that's my spirit animal, you were like, she's offending Native Americans?
You take your head out of that sand for 2.5 hours. And you put it back in.
There you go.
That dawned on you.
You're an ostrich.
What?
When fucking social media girls like, that's my spirit animal. It dawned on you?
No. But I'm not surprised.
Okay, yeah. It never dawned on me that I was like, oh my God, I guess, yeah, spirit animal. I guess that's what because a Native American person would be like, oh, spirits and all that. And that's like their culture. And you'd be insulting them by saying you have a spirit animal.
It all ties into...
And the weather guy on the show has to like do an apology. Yeah. And he's like a 40, 50-year-old guy. And he's like, what?
This all leads to things being canceled too. And that's there's another story about that. Actually, you got my mind racing in a million different directions.
You guys are on like...
It's about exposure,
guys.
Like
the last 12-cylinder engines
The last discussion is about what you're exposed to, right? So think about that, shove it up your ass. Rich is talking about spirit animals. How about like inanimate objects? You ever look at a Birkenstock and think it looks like Brad Pitt? It's like the same sort of energy, same vibe. I saw something on TikTok. They're like, why does this it's like a Birkenstock sort of sandal, like moccasin sort of thing?
I do.
It looks like Brad Pitt, and I don't know why.
I don't know about that, but I've noticed when people said this number is this color or this letter
same
is
energy.
It has the same energy.
Same energy. So it's like the spirit animal. I don't know. I don't know any inanimate objects that I could relate to. Maybe a switchblade comb. I feel like that's my spirit sort of inanimate object. Why does this switchblade comb remind me of Covino so much? I don't know.
Yeah, that's a good question.
Animal
hair product,
like a lion,
like a
Lambert lion though. I'm a little sheepish.
Your spirit inanimate object is probably like Suavecito hair product.
Suavecito hair product, like the same energy kind of, So yeah, I feel
jackets. You, Rich. A denim jacket is your spirit animal.
But look, Christopher Columbus canceled. Spirit animals, references to Native Americans canceled. Eric Clapton is the latest to be canceled as of today. He was trending. I'm like, why is Eric Clapton trending?
Eric Clapton?
What did he do?
What the fuck did he do?
Yo, did you take a rowdy energy drink before the show? People are wondering.
I'm curious.
No, why? Because I just because I made points that you can't argue. Sorry.
Yeah, you're fucking laying
that's
it down.
Yeah.
That's
your takeaway?
Eric Clapton is being canceled because of some shit he said in the 70s about, actually, it was pretty controversial.
Oh, is that why?
Well, there's a few reasons.
I thought he was getting canceled because of anti-vaxxer shit.
Well, that was part of it.
He donated money to... So I read this. I didn't even know you were bringing this up. I think I read somewhere where he donated to something that was
an anti-vax
campaign.
Yep, banned. So heading into the rando news now of the day. Rando news of the day. Eric Clapton was trending, and I'm like, why is he trending? Rich is absolutely right. Rolling Stone is reporting, and other news sources reporting that he's an anti-vaxxer guy, but he's sort of, because he's an old guy, they're sort of a little off the wall with that shit, Michael Jackson style, and because of these sort of things, people are questioning, was he always a wackadoodle? Right? So now they're digging back even further.
The guy went through a lot.
Yeah, but in 1976...
He lost his son.
It doesn't matter.
And he sang a song about it, which is one
of
the most...
He went out on a rant.
Of all time.
Clapton began making vile and racist comments from the stage back in 76, right?
76?
Yeah,
Do you mean 45 years ago?
Does it matter? I don't know. In today's world, it doesn't.
It depends on what he said, but like when you're saying
on an extended jag.
That's good quick math.
I don't know what a jag is, but he went on an extended jag about how foreigners should leave Great Britain.
Was he talking about the band Foreigner?
No.
Oh, okay.
This is 76. I don't know if they were even a thing.
Okay, just
They couldn't fight that feeling in like 82. Or is that REO Speedway?
that REO Speedway can't fight the feeling.
What did Foreigner sing?
They sang I want their song.
I want to know what love
is.
Yeah, it's definitely in the 80s.
I want you.
All right.
Foreigner.
So he says he got to get the wogs out and the COONS out. What are wogs? Shorthand for gollywog. I don't even know. Oh, it's a slur against dark-skinned non-whites. So now they're digging up all this shit from, and I'm not saying, I don't know. I think, so basically it's, hey, this legend, Eric Clapton, that we all love, was he always just a jerk off? Now, according to Rolling Stone, trying to cancel him. I don't know how to feel about that.
you know who?
I don't like rooting for people with hate in their heart.
No,
I don't.
people.
So I don't know.
You know,
I don't know.
people that said hateful stuff. I mean, depends.
Like, that's hateful shit. That's not like...
That's not like made a sexist joke 40 years ago.
Yeah.
This is, if it's hateful shit,
By
then,
the way,
yeah,
he
then...
apologized in 2018, apparently.
Well, it's come back.
And said it was in the throes of addiction. He sabotaged everything he was involved with.
That's...
Excuses.
No, but
that being said...
Yeah, but if he's saying, I addressed this already, I was a drug addict, it was 45 years ago.
Guess what? It comes up again when he goes on a crazy rant about vaccines.
Oh, you know who went on a crazy rant? And it's one of our buddies.
So cancel Clapton.
And he is... I'm not canceling anyone. I refuse to...
I mean, is Clapton's career thriving to the point where if you cancel him, it's going to have an effect? I think he's
I
made his money.
I canceled the song Layla, but I don't cancel Clapton.
And let's go.
Rowdy, baby, rowdy!
And show. So the thought of canceling someone is just unless someone's touching kids, I ain't canceling them. That's my stance. In fact, do you see what Dave Chappelle said? People like Dave Chappelle.
Whatever it is, my mom hated it.
Dave Chappelle said Dave, they might want to take your show off of Netflix and they want to cancel you. And he's like, I don't give a fuck. I got paid already.
He's like, if this is what this is what he says.
Yeah,
if
he
this
said
is
that
what
too.
cancel feels like, then I love it. Give me more of it. Because he's not really being canceled. He's getting paid and he's got specials on Netflix.
And if Netflix doesn't want him, guess who will? Apple TV, Amazon, Hulu, Paramount. Someone else will be like, yes, Dave Chappelle, come this way. So he's fine. Who cares what people say in 1976? Oh, that's a good question. Do we care if it's racist? If it's like really terrible stuff? Maybe
I'm a gollywog.
Maybe it gives you...
I don't know how I feel about it.
Maybe it gives you an insight into who they really are. But then again...
Am I a scallywag or gollywog?
If someone's like, if he was like, it was 1970 something, I was on LSD and I was saying crazy shit.
Which is what he's claiming. He's saying he was influenced. He was on drugs. Yeah, as a gollywog myself, I mean, it does hurt my feelings because it's like, well, here's a guy, I like this guy, but here's a guy that really wouldn't accept me based on the color of my skin. I don't know about that.
Well, I mean, but you don't know because you don't know.
Yeah, exactly.
You don't know where someone's mindset was at back then. It was, I mean, you could go on a slippery slope down the history of famous people 50, 100 years ago, right? Then you go back to our forefathers and it's like, well, then you get into the whole like, well, George Washington had slaves, and you start getting into all that conversation. So I don't know what the
do as you must.
Yeah, I don't know what the answer is there.
His songs, a lot of his songs kick ass.
I was saying someone we know, one of our buddies went off the deep end a little bit.
Ooh.
And I say deep end not because I'm judging his stance on the vaccine, but have you seen the fucking off the wall rants that Jim Brewer's been going on?
Oh boy.
Yeah. Of course.
Ruh-roh.
Well, that stems from people putting mandates on who can and cannot
go to events,
shows
and
live shows.
I agree. There should be ways for people. There should be ways for people that are unvaccinated. My only stance that I really care about
crazy, man.
My only stance that really matters is
fully, man.
People that are not vaccinated should have a way to get into things, even if it's a little trickier. Like if you're like,
you have to get a test.
Yeah. Hey, on-site testing. If a venue says, hey, we require a vaccine, it should say, or on-site testing. And I think that is a fair...
I don't think
that's a fair compromise. Spot, I went to a car show in Long Beach, right? On-site testing seemed like it was working fine. Meaning I showed my vaccine card, but you know what was next to the people showing their vaccine card? People in masks and swabs, and they were doing...
This guy vaccine, he thinks he's better than me.
There was on-site testing provided by the venue, right?
That's nice, but I don't think that should be. I don't think that's a necessity. Like I went to that concert with Gabe, at the Greek Theater.
Yeah.
They didn't have on-site testing. They just said either come with a negative test or a vaccine card,
Okay,
or
that's
you
fair.
ain't getting in.
That's fair too. I think, but I'm saying there shouldn't be a
Vaccine only. Yeah, I get that. I agree with
The
that.
vaccine should be.
I agree with that.
Andrew's right. The vaccine should be like a fast pass at an amusement park.
Yes.
That's a great analogy. The vaccine should be like all right, you go on the your TSA pre-check in life. If you don't want to get the vaccine, I'm not going to judge you. But you know what? Show up with a
Cancel Jim Brewer.
show up with a test, or show up with a or do on-site testing. That's fair. That's normal. Who could argue that?
Yeah, Funyuns.
Could anyone actually argue that?
Nope.
If I said Covino,
They should do on-site vaccines.
if I said go to
Vaccine.
If I said go to this, if I said, hey, you want to go to the Dodgers Giants game? Yeah, you need a vaccine. You need to show proof of vaccine or a test within the last 24 hours. Would anyone say that's unfair?
No, I think it's fair.
That's just fair.
It sucks, but it's fair. So, Jim Brewer, I like the guy, so I don't know what to say about that. But everyone has opinions. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
There's no one that could argue my point. I challenge you to argue a venue saying, yeah, you don't need to be vaccinated, but if you're not, for the temporary time being,
Get it ahead.
Prove it.
show
Prove you're okay. It's for
show
the
a
safety
test.
of others. I get
For the
it.
safety of everybody.
TMNT was trending this morning.
By the way, Franz says, I have 10 at-home tests right now. It takes 10 minutes. You could show your proof of testing. Boom.
Bam.
Bomb.
By the way,
Teenage-
they were sold out here. You told me
Yeah, I got him at home.
you got them at home.
Yeah.
They're a hot commodity, the at-home tests.
I'm due for my booster soon.
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles was trending this morning. I said, why? One of them kill somebody? Vaccine issue?
No,
what
you,
happened?
you misread. 10-inch mutant Ninja Turtles.
No, this is for the
10-inch
gamers, guys.
Ninja Turtles.
No, no, no.
10-inch
they're-
mutant. Oh, okay.
There's an Xbox series console coming out in the shape and style of
A turtle?
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. And that's like a boxy looking. There's a SpongeBob version or something. It's like a Nickelodeon series or something. I don't know. But there's a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle Xbox that people are raging and raving about. And they're also pushing for a Tomcat from Tom and Jerry one because of some of the episodes. It was trending this morning. I looked it up. So for the gamers out there, they're excited about the Xbox Series console.
Oh,
It looks like the Turtles.
This thing? Hold on.
Yeah, it's just a square fucking Xbox.
Yeah,
I don't know.
huh.
I'm just giving updates.
This thing?
Yep.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Turtle Power and a little
The
SpongeBob.
SpongeBob one's cool.
It's the Nickelodeon All-Star Brawl.
That's pretty cool. That's
Yeah.
pretty dope.
Turtle Power.
Oh, yeah, because they're square now, right? The Xbox is
Yep.
one, or the new Xbox is square.
And
So old.
I don't know if there's truth to this spot. Jordan sent me this last night, and I'm just rolling with it. There was an Apple update apparently.
Well, the new, what is it? iOS 15 is out because of the new iPhone.
Right. And
Haven't upgraded yet.
to my understanding, this Apple update, let me find it again.
Dun, dun, dun.
Huh. Where did it go?
Uh-oh.
This Apple update allows you to block ads.
I saw someone on TikTok
Facebook's
do it.
apparently
Yeah.
really mad about this. So the question is, do you want your ads and shit like that sort of blocked when the argument is, fuck, these Facebook ads know me better than I know me.
I don't mind it.
I find them convenient. But do you want to block that shit or don't block that shit? It's got people all up in a tizzy.
I think having the option it's about having the option.
I think you should have to pay for it.
It's about having the option.
I
You
think
have the
I
option.
think you should have to pay. Like on Hulu, I pay an extra $2 a month to have
Yeah, but-
no commercials.
But then who gets the money? Not the advertisers. The advertisers are spending money to target you. So if you're paying Apple to not be targeted, Apple's just collecting the money.
yeah, but Apple's making the money off the advertisers. So you're just paying. You're paying Apple.
No, because you're
What do you
getting
All right.
targeted from
All right,
Facebook.
Chevrolet. Let's say
Chevy.
Chevy pays.
Other services are like using your data. So it's I don't know where like in the cycle it would necessarily fall.
Advertising is a part of life that we all have to embrace because
Temptation is a part of
most
life.
of our jobs.
Apple's not advertising.
Most of our jobs have to do with advertising. Think about it. If you're in any type of business, like you want your company known, you want to make money. It's advertising is a part of it.
business.
So
The ads are how the platform pays for itself. So if you
It
don't
also
want to pay,
blocks
if you
some
don't want
sort
to pay
of-
for the ads, then you have to pay the network a couple bucks.
it also blocks how it's like how social media sort of maps, I think, your life. I'm sort of forgetting how they worded it, but it allows you to block this. Do you Do you use this or do you not use this is the question. Facebook is apparently really mad about these options. They're trying to fight it because Facebook wants to continue making their money promoting relevant ads that pertain to you. So that's just the other rando update of the day.
Random update.
I have some shout-outs that I have to give. And, of course, all the NFL, the boxing, Fury wins. We talked about all that.
Intro.
Hope you had a great weekend. Colts take on the Ravens tonight. Jordan hit me up with a funny question, Rich. I got to ask you. We don't need to harp on it, but I got to ask you. She also said a better example would have been Jordan never saw her parents drink, and she thinks that's why she doesn't drink. She was never exposed to it. She was never influenced by it.
That's parental influence. I think I had heavy parental influence.
That's about our previous conversation. But she says what she really was chiming in on. And she says, can you ask your Carls, the Covino and Rich listeners, shout out Facebook Carls, Discord Charles, Discord Charles, and Discord Carls. Charles in West Virginia. And everybody chiming in on our text message, 412-267-7469, and our live chats. We appreciate you. Going to her sister's wedding later this week. There's going to be fun stories, I'm sure, from this whole experience. Her sister's marrying a guy named Colton, who's like, he's like Dudley does right.
He's like a perfect specimen.
Dudley do right, man. He's a lawyer.
Handsome.
He's strapping and tall. He's got a big
successful.
Is Dudley do right handsome though?
But he's got that chin. He's like
chiseled,
very mounty, like Canadian strong.
Yeah,
very
he's Canadian,
strong.
so he's like really nice.
Yeah. But he's like super nice, right?
Man, this guy, what a package.
She
and a good package.
Brought this up to me, and I was like, "That's lame as Rich Davis." But she wants to know if everybody agrees with what I think and what I think she thinks. Want to know how you feel about it. So Colton is marrying her sister this weekend.
Whoopity-doo. Colton is marrying Dallas. Whoopity-doo.
As the
She loves him,
as the great Robbie Hart
but
said
he loves her over there.
in Wedding Singer.
By the way, what a perfect name for two people to get together.
Right.
Colton and Dallas.
It's generational.
Like
right?
you would think that Dallas would be filled with a bunch of dudes named Colton.
Well, her dad's a Cowboys fan.
There you go.
Oh, Dallas is filled with Colton.
So
You said it, not me.
I got to ask you this.
Gross.
She says,
Disgusting.
this is coming from Jordan, the bride's sister.
Jordan.
Colton's sister-in-law to be.
Jordan.
Can you ask everyone how they feel about Colton and all of his groomsmen getting spray tans before the wedding?
Worst idea ever. Done. Worst idea ever.
Rich is speechless. Wow. Because my initial reaction was, man, that shit is lame as hell. Really? Okay, no, I agree. I've never been presented with this like thought. So my initial reaction was, that's just coney. Really? Wow, Colton's gonna be. He might have to give this second thought.
Are you serious? Yo, he joking.
She says it's a fitting question
Yo,
since you're talking
I
about
have,
socks
I
with
have
sandals.
a first look at the bridal party. First
There
look
it
at
is.
the bridal party.
No, but they're like Canadian dudes.
I know, but I'm just
In
saying.
Idaho.
This is what I think of when I think of a bunch of dudes spray tanned.
I remember that guy. I remember
There's
that
Colton
guy
in the
right.
back.
Yeah.
Right here. This is Colton right
Hey,
here.
Spock, can you play the theme song that we'll be playing throughout the wedding?
Maybe they're feeling my heat.
yeah, I got-
Maybe they're feeling the Covino Latino heat. Feel my heat.
Jordan, Covino's very
Jordan.
tan.
Jordan. Think of how pale he's gonna look next to.
Who's officiating the wedding? Spot's brother?
Yo, let me make this point. Colton is a very white guy, right? So when they spray tan a man, I don't know this. I really don't know.
I've never got a
Do
spray
they-
tan.
No, but do they spray tan your face
do.
too? Yeah,
Why would
right.
they not?
I do.
Man, that's weird. I don't know.
I do.
Do you take her?
That guy on the bottom right looks exactly like one of my friends, Lorenzo, for sure.
Unless
I do.
this is a fucking Jersey Shore reunion wedding.
I didn't even get that.
Canada?
I do. That's just funny.
I do. Do you take her to be your wife?
I do.
Forever
I do.
till death do you part. Yeah.
So the question is, and we pose it to the Carls, is there any flip side to this thought?
A reading from the book of John.
I understand wanting to look your best, right? It's your wedding day, Spot. I mean, remember how handsome you were on that day?
Don't
I
do
did that
any.
last
Don't
week.
do
You're
any.
still
you know,
handsome.
can I tell you something?
No, I was
That wasn't
Look,
enough.
women get their of course, it's great when women get their hair and makeup and they're done, but because women do that on the regular, meaning if it's a special event or a date night, the women just get a blowout, they get their hair done, they get all the professional makeup artists. Makes sense. A guy,
It's too risky.
They're
making a day out. They're making a day out of it, by the way.
Of course, women do. Women do. Oh,
No, the guys. That's to my knowledge.
know what you do.
Have they been spray tanned before?
No, dude, it's not their scene.
This
They're
is-
white. They're just like white.
This is the worst
This
idea
is so
ever.
risky.
They just. I think it's like, yo,
You
we gotta look
have
good.
a bunch of orange hands.
Yeah, you never
bunch
know.
of orange hands, like with his wedding ring on.
Like
Maybe
honestly,
they'll do it
you
in
never know how.
It's a
hold on.
tribute. It's a tribute.
You never know how someone is going to react to a spray tan. Do you remember when we did this on the show? We had it was our annual Hooters bit.
They look terrible. That's
And
right.
we had all of the Hooters girls spray tanned me in studio.
I remember that. It was all
and
runny.
in the moment, I was like, okay. Later that day, did you see what happened to me?
We took the worst approach, Spot.
Why
We were
you
all
should-
sweaty,
We
too.
should have been like, yeah, great idea.
Covino, as a matter of fact, you should go
I'm
with
sorry.
them.
Can we Spot? Restart.
Hey, what do you think about Colton and his whole party of groomsmen getting spray tans for the
Oh,
wedding?
I think it's fantastic.
In
idea.
fact, yeah, if you guys want to look best on your wedding day,
you don't want to be
I'm
like
telling
pale.
you right now,
you look like
don't-
Brian Williams.
You don't want to. No, you don't want to look pale. I would say, Colton, you and your boys gotta get spray tans. Cut. Now give Jordan that piece of audio to send to Colton. Okay.
I do. That's
Do
funny.
you take her
All right, well,
monthly
thanks.
wedded wife?
All right, we all
wife,
agree. I'm just trying to figure, is there any other possible way to
Love
look at
is
this?
kind.
I've
Love
never,
is patient. Love is kind. Love is patient. Love is kind. Love is patient. Love is kind. Kind.
I mean, maybe he's feeling my Latino heat, bro. I don't know what to say.
Oh, see. I now pronounce you. I now pronounce
Tan
you.
and wife.
I now pronounce you. I now pronounce you.
Tan and wife.
I now pronounce you.
Tan and wife.
I now pronounce you.
Tan and wife.
I now pronounce you. I now pronounce you. Man and wife.
Yeah, man. Tan and wife. There's no upside.
Tan and wife.
Lynn Brower says there's no upside to this.
I now pronounce you tan and wife.
You just got that? I was singing it the whole time. I'm going to say that.
Hold on.
I don't know, man.
Oh, man.
Are they all getting Brazilian butt waxes?
Yo, I hope Jordan's
That's what
not.
John wants
I
to
hope
know.
Jordan's not offended that I'm laughing at this
No,
so
no,
much because
no.
this to me.
No, and by the way,
the
Colton
funniest
is
thing ever.
such a nice guy that he's going to love every second of this discussion. These guys are hilarious. They're so quick, man.
By the way,
These guys are
by the way,
great.
Colton,
He's a nice dude, so he could take a joke.
I grew up in
loves it.
I grew up in New York and New Jersey,
Yeah, same.
and in the early 2000s, I went to the tanning salon a few times, as did you. A lot of guys did.
Tanning salon.
Tanning salon, like a tanning bed. I
No, they
never
get
got a
spray
spray.
tans.
Getting a
Never.
spray. I never got a spray tan.
Me either.
Listen, my wife, who would get spray tans all the time because you would do that, for work and modeling, and
But maybe we're
half
just,
the time.
are we thinking old guy?
No.
You sure?
No.
Oh, just make it. Hey, I'm trying to
Half-
give.
Here's Colton showing up to the wedding.
We're looking at David Schwimmer from Friends.
Yeah.
Oh, wait.
Oh man.
I went to that tanning place your wife suggested.
Was that place the Sun?
Oh Chandler.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, Chandler Bing.
I'm just saying, Covino.
Look at that. He's got like a sideline.
Covino, we've lived the East Coast
Chandler.
Yeah, I'm from New Jersey, and I think this is
I'm
odd.
telling you, I grew up on Long Island and lived in Jersey. If there was ever a guy that,
what about a
if there was
tan
ever
top?
a guy that probably has perspective
Yeah.
on tanning, and I'm the first to admit, in the early 2000s, here and there, I would go to the tanning salon, lay in the bed or stand in the little thing, get a little glow. It's terrible for you. I stopped doing it a decade ago. But what I'm saying is, an airbrushed spray tan for all the groomsmen sounds like the greatest idea, Jordan. Pass that along to Colton. I think
now
it'll be
pronounce you.
great.
I now pronounce
I mean-
you.
I'm glad we're on the
Yo,
same
yo,
page.
it's so funny. Dude, you made my day by telling me this.
Yeah.
Do you think
Well,
they
that's
should get spray tans?
Thanks
Yes,
for-
I do.
Thanks for trusting me. I know it's getting late early. I wanted to throw this out there. So I'll have more stories from this event
can I make
later on.
Can I make something out of
Sure.
this then? While I do say no to spray tans, what I will say is this: if you're getting married, you know what's not a bad idea? What's not a bad idea is getting a fresh haircut. What's not a bad idea? Hey, even if you've never done one, Guys, go get yourself a manicure and pedicure so your hands are nice and clean for your wedding ring, maybe photo with the wifey. You could do things.
I wouldn't even recommend like a
facial because you could break out.
Because you could, yeah.
That's why I didn't say it, Spot.
I wouldn't even recommend that.
I left it out on purpose.
No unusual skincare routines.
Unlike me right now, I'm waiting because I'm going to see Addie tomorrow for a hair and beard trim up. But
my dude,
yo,
haircut this weekend, bro.
Haircut, stubble or beard trim up. Make sure your fingernails are cut and clean.
Don't have your brother do it right before.
Do not do any. You know what it is? Did I ever tell you about the wedding of the clown?
Now pronounce you tan and white.
I now pronounce you
tan and white.
I now pronounce you
tan and white.
I now pronounce you
tan and white.
I now pronounce you
tan and white.
I now pronounce you
tan and white.
I now pronounce you
tan and white. It's just funny, man. I hope they play that at the wedding.
No, only if you pass along bad advice.
So that, all right, we agree. But it all stems from
that's funny.
you're just trying to look your best, but it's like, whoa, guys. And he's so white. It's like all of a sudden he shows up.
And he's like
and
you said he's like a handsome guy.
All of a sudden he looks like Chandler from Friends. Soulmate.
I will say people
is marrying Soul Man?
People look better with a tan. Tell him to go outside for a couple days. Take a walk. Take a hike. Like, get a little natural light if he wants. I'm telling you, spray tan's a horrible idea.
By the way, you know who's going to have the biggest issue if he doesn't
look
good?
Know what he should do? Another thing. I agree. Look at this. David said it. He said coconut oil. I was going to say coconut oil. I was going to say, you know what might not be a bad idea? For a guy, the week before your wedding, I'm giving real advice. Haircut, stubble, beard, trim up if you have facial hair. Make sure your nails are clean and cut. And it's not a bad idea. Maybe do Crest white strips for a week. Make sure your teeth are nice and fresh.
But it can also make teeth sensitivity, so just be
Doesn't
careful.
matter. Your teeth look nice in the pictures.
Here's the other little caveat.
Yeah, don't do facials because you get a peeling or breakout.
Jordan's mom's
Give up
so
coffee for a
particular
month.
about certain things. And I say this respectfully, with all due respect. I don't want to cross any family lines. But
no, I mean no disrespect.
When Dallas and Colton sent out their save the dates, he got a different type of haircut, right? Which is a risky thing to do. He got like a super tight fade, and the mom, Jordan's mom, not Colton, Jordan's mom, was like, "Why would he get his haircut, Jordan, like that for these pictures?" So imagine if he shows up looking like orangey. Dallas, why would he do that, Jordan?
Do it.
All the photos are ruined.
Just for the story.
It could cause so much drama
for the story. Have him.
So anyway,
they'd be like, yo, I went spray tanning. Did you? Everyone does it.
Right. So that's all I got.
By the way, I had a story. Hold on.
Okay.
I told you. Did I ever tell you the story about the clown bride?
Oh, tell me. Clown bride.
And by the way,
is this when your Uncle Bozo's wedding?
When my cousin Fizbo got engaged, it was a fucking riot. So follow me here. I'll tell you about the clown bride in a second, but someone just said something that reminded me. Oh, haircut. That's another weird thing. My best friend Christina and her husband Mike got married, and Mike's sort of like a guy that like always has facial hair. Back in the day, he's like a rock band guy, and he always had different haircuts. He's sort of a sloppy guy, but in a loving way. Like he's not groomed. Right. Like he's always got some type of beard or mustache or hair, or like he's not. Let's just say he's not the type of guy that cares about his fucking appearance that much. For the engagement photos and wedding, he had like the clean baby ass clean shave and like a way I've never seen this guy in my life. So I recommend don't be someone else at your own wedding.
It's good advice.
It's great advice.
Like if you're the guy that rocks stubble or like facial hair all the time, don't be like, well, it's my wedding, I guess I got to shave. No, this is you.
Yeah, he's
right?
like weird in all the photos.
Like if you're a guy that's like has poofy hair, don't get your first fade the day of your wedding, right?
And tell them to feed the photographer.
Rich is a poofy hair expert.
Feed the photographer, else they'll delete your photos.
Yeah.
The story of the clown bride.
Please tell me.
It's just like the corpse bride.
So I think I've told part of the story before, but not the story of the clown bride herself. So do you remember I told you the story of me being invited to a wedding where I was asked to be a groomsman?
Yeah.
And I was like, I mean, I'm a nice guy and all, but I don't know this guy well enough to be his groomsman. But of course, I took the honor. I was like, yeah, sure. Yeah. Hey, Joe, it would be my honor and pleasure to be one of your groomsmen. I'll stand beside you. You got it, buddy boy. Went to high school with the guy. lived in the neighborhood. He was in the band. We were in the same classes. He was in like the nerd classes too. I was like, Joe, you got it, buddy boy. I go to the wedding and all my good pals that you know, my buddy Bill, my buddy Jeff Kimball, Walter, all my high school buds.
What about Mark Grumpelstein?
That's a guy that Grumpelstein, I haven't seen that kid in 30 years.
Okay. I just like saying his name.
I know, it's a good.
The guy you had the charm with, was he there?
Anthony Gambino? No, he not part of my circle. So I'm at this wedding and all the groomsmen were like, wow, yeah, you must have stayed close to Joe, right? And I was like, no, I was sort of surprised that I'm his groomsman. And we had the revelation that he stayed in contact with nobody and got to the point where it was like, what's that movie where the guy has no groomsmen's, Jason Segel?
Yes Man?
Yes Man. Yeah, is it Yes Man?
No.
I know what you're talking about.
I Love You Man. Sorry.
I Love You Man.
Yes Man's the Jim
Where like
Carrey
fucking
movie.
Lou Ferrigno was a groomsman at his wedding. This guy had no friends, so he went back to the well like 15 years later. Like, let me ask my high school pals, not even my good buddies. So it was a bunch of guys that didn't know him anymore. It was like we all went to the wedding.
You guys just meant more to him than
It's
realized. I
sad, but
don't
you know what?
Yeah.
But the crazy part was none of us had even met his wife until the wedding. So it's like all his groomsmen were just like, I have no friends now. It was sort of sad. But his wife, we met her before the wedding. Looked beautiful, right?
Yeah.
Oh, Joe met a nice, beautiful woman. From what I understand, like the second cousin, like some distant relatives, like, I'm in cosmetology school. It would be my honor to do your hair and makeup. And we were like, that's a little risky. And he's like, yeah, my wife's going to let like second cousin Trudy do the hair and makeup. Yo. We look down the aisle. Looks like a fucking clown.
Here comes the clown.
The makeup looks like a 12-year-old did it.
Oh my
You know how your
God.
daughter, when she first probably put on makeup, like you know, when my 4-year-old takes mommy's makeup and has fucking big red cheeks and plays makeup and stuff.
Oh my God.
Yo, looked
That is
awful.
hilarious.
And everyone there.
Can you please find a picture of that though? You gotta
picture?
find one.
Wait,
It's
who's-
gotta be on social media.
He's not on social media.
Oh, I gotta see this now.
But it was like, oh my, like, how on earth would you trust? So that's another lesson to be learned.
she looks like Dee
Don't-
Snyder coming down the aisle.
Don't trust. Very much like Dee Snyder. Don't trust.
Is that
someone,
Mark the Animal Mendoza from Twisted Sister?
Do not trust the random stranger
Is that Eddie Fingers?
that you've never, like the same way, Covino, you would never trust a new barber to cut your hair the day before like a big event. Don't
came out-
trust a new makeup person to do your hair and makeup before the fucking wedding. So there you go. We're not gonna take it. No, we ain't gonna take it. We're not gonna take it anymore.
Yeah, I gotta see this. I gotta
find. I'll
So
find
yeah,
it.
don't experiment before big events.
By the way, the guy that got married, he's like 5'5", little guy, and he decided to wear a tuxedo with tails at the back of it, and the tails like went back down to like his ankle, so he looked like a little midget penguin.
right.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, everything about that wedding.
Don't take those chances. All right, so hey, it's getting late early. A few shout outs, and then we'll start wrapping up
The
the
same
show.
person that did her makeup did our Halloween makeup for Buzz and Woody. That's right, Lonnie.
Is this her?
Lonnie.
Hey, you look
there
great.
she is. You found her on Facebook.
You look fantastic.
Oh, who did that? That's fantastic.
photo.
And with that being said, how do we know that Colton doesn't get like some amateur spray tan person?
What's the Boise spray tan scene like?
And they all got the Brian Williams, Donald Trump thing going on.
Did I ever tell you the
Trump
people-
tanner?
did I ever
as,
tell you
as
the,
our buddy Matt says I have Trump tanner.
You do have Trump tan.
Our buddy Matt's in town.
So
there's
be careful.
one more. Oh man, did I just lose my thought? Hold on. Trump tanner. Buzz and Woody.
Congrats, Colton.
Bad makeup.
Bad makeup.
Oh well, whatever.
By the way, my daughter's extremely talented with her makeup. It's wild. Like
Clown
grown
bride.
women can't be as precise as she's able to do her shit. I'm like, yo, chill out with that.
Well, you're
All right?
OCD weirdo, so
Yeah.
maybe she got that trait.
I'm like, well, at least you're good at it, but chill, okay? Chill. All right. So a few shout outs before we wrap up. I got to get this out. Our buddy Damien, who we've met a few times, get this. 41-year-old, nice dude. He's having a baby girl in April, 41 years old.
Good for him.
Tried his whole life. So a shout out to Damien and Luciana Isimone. Damien and Luciana Isimone.
Lucian.
They went to Brazil, got some IVF stuff done,
That's great.
and he's about to have a baby, and he's super excited, super amped about it, and just wanted us to give him a shout out. He's a good dude.
Oh, he's like Christ the
so
Redeemer.
a shout out to Damien and Luciana Isimone.
Having a baby girl will be the best thing that ever happened to you, buddy.
Yeah, no,
having
we're really
having
happy
a daughter.
for him, man.
I mean, yeah, Ben's all cool and all. He writing fart on the wall, but having a daughter is the greatest thing. I can't believe how.
By the way,
I can't believe how.
Emmy's
I mean,
adorable. She's at
trust
the most
me.
adorable stage right now, so embrace it.
Trust me. I'm sure Ben and I will be best buds as I get older. But as of right now, my daughter is in such a I want her to stay this age forever, and I just know time flies so fast. But just watching her not only interact with me, but like when Covino and Spot were over this weekend, just Steve, let's play a game. Just fucking.
She's great.
It's at the age where you're gonna love having a daughter, man. It's the
So
best.
congratulations on your journey. It was a long one, 41. I think that's a great age. Enjoy it. And congratulations to Damien and Luciana Isimone again on your baby girl to come. Speaking of babies, my sister brought her baby home this weekend. That was a big deal for the Covino family. Little Owen down with OPP.
OPP.
Congratulations to my family and especially my sister Jen and Dan. He says yes. That in
After
tribute
Owen
to
Wilson.
Owen Hart.
Owen Wilson. I'm sorry.
Owen Wilson.
Wow. No, Owen.
Wow.
Owen Hart. I'm sorry. He's a big wrestling fan.
So congratulations to Damien.
Wow.
Congratulations to the Red Sox, the White Sox who won one last night, and all 4 teams
How
played
about that game, huh?
today. So
that game.
That game, huh?
that was a good game.
That was a good game.
And let's see.
That's doozy. I have a question that I want to pose for tomorrow. So I'll pose it now because
Yeah.
I want the feedback for tomorrow. So think about it.
Well, we got more stuff. Here's stuff for tomorrow too. We're saving some stuff. We have a guy, a friend in need, his wife is hot, but she wears the weakest jeans. He needs to figure out how to tell her.
Okay.
And there's a story that Spot is all about where this guy owned a cat for like 18 years and his bride-to-be
All about it. I
owns a dog.
I just saw it. I thought it was.
Also, it's like who loses. This is a good one.
It's a matter of who loses. We'll do that tomorrow.
There's a bunch of funny stories we didn't get to today, and I have 2 questions I want to pose tomorrow or this week. I'll tell you now so you can start thinking about it. What are the most overused words or phrases on social media that you can't get with anymore? Like the overused slang phrases, things people bring up. Well, what on social media needs to go?
Sheesh.
I was today years old.
That's one of them. I was today years old when is one of them. Another one is something, whatever, go. People hate when you do that. And the other thing I want to bring up, by the way, one little alert I want to give today. It's not really a news alert, more just a little heads up. Netflix teamed up with Walmart, so all Netflix shows will have merchandise. They were saying like any toys, T-shirts, decor, anything like Squid Game, for instance, will have toys and merch and everything. Netflix partnered up with any Netflix show that creates merchandise or stuff will have a Walmart deal.
Sweet.
Okay.
I thought that was big news because think of all the shit your kid may be watching, like I don't know, 13 Reasons Why or Outer Banks or something. They'll have they'll have merch for those shows exclusively at Walmart.
I have an idea for a bit for the show.
Yeah.
I'm gonna make those little Squid Game things, those little cakes or whatever those
Oh,
things
the little
are.
honeycomb
things.
honeycomb thing.
And we're gonna have to like do a timer, and we're gonna have to do it.
And then if we lose,
whoever loses gets a fart in their face.
okay, instead of shot in the face, fart in the face.
Fart in the
Okay,
face.
All right, good. Covino will have cheese the night before.
I'll make them tonight. Yeah.
All right.
Hey, I want to thank all you guys, especially on the YouTube chat. Kimberly Giles, Jay Bots, Stefano, I'm Key, a contributor. He contributed on the after show, but later. Appreciate you.
Bots.
I want
Mercer
to,
Man, you're the guy. Everybody hitting us up. We appreciate you. Even if we disagree, it's cool. I'm glad you're here subscribing. Thank you very much.
It means a lot. I want to give everyone 24 more hours to watch the season finale of Ted Lasso.
Yeah, you steered me wrong. I had already watched it, and you told me there was one more.
Oh, you must watch it like the day it came out then. Because I said,
but I even described it to you. I'm like,
No,
it ends like that, and you're like, nope, there's one more.
Well, I said, Coach Beard had an episode. Then the next one was the Rick Astley emotional one, and then I said, there's one after that, and then one more after that, and you said, oh yeah.
There's not though. That's the last one. That's 12. 12 is the last one.
I know what we'll do.
I watched it.
Slap to the face like that game.
Not, but I'm saying it was Beard, Rick Astley, and then 2 more.
Either way, I got all excited
anyway.
to watch what.
And then you already had seen it.
I had already seen it.
Well, anyway, think about this.
Never do nothing.
Think about this, and we'll talk about it tomorrow.
Think about your dad.
In your life.
In your life.
In my.
Can you say it like El Kukui and William Forsythe? In my life.
In my life.
I don't want his chop. I want his life. I don't
your
want his pork chop.
I want his life. In your life.
Your life.
Has anyone ever pulled a Nate on you?
I don't know what that means.
Yeah.
If you watch,
He's our old producer.
if you watch Ted Lasso, you'll know what I mean.
Can you?
Watch the finale. If you don't watch Ted Lasso, I'll explain tomorrow.
Is it like a huge plot point?
Yeah.
Yeah, but you see it coming, so it's not it's not a
yeah,
spur
it's a
alert.
build-up.
It's a build-up. You see it. But has anyone ever pulled a
Nate the Great.
A Nate the Great on you? We'll get to it tomorrow, respectively. Have a good day.
Yeah, I want to wrap up the show, but did you see what happened in the Rays game last night with the Red Sox? We were on the radio, but did you see what happened?
Ground rule double bullshit play.
That
Yeah,
was the weirdest shit ever.
yeah, because it's
I
like
think they did get hosed. I'm just seeing feedback. Like, how did we not mention that?
Yeah, the Rays got, but they scored.
was-
They got a 2-run homer on the bottom of the inning, so it's like, would they have won by 1 then?
I don't know. It was a
that changes the
weird
complexity
play.
of the game. Yeah,
It's too.
you can't say
I
that.
can't
yeah.
even describe it. But what happened was weird. And sorry, Rays fans. Red Sox move on.
Yeah. Have a good one.
Oh, is that
Yeah.
it?
Yeah, fun show. Fun
Drive
show,
here.
guys. Let's have a fun week. Now, what does the week look like? We're not missing any days, right?
No, we're
Even
on this
though
week.
I'm
Let's
heading
see.
to Idaho for the wedding.
What day is today? Today's Monday.
Today's Monday.
We're live together in Los Angeles Tuesday. We're live in Los Angeles together Wednesday. We are live together in Los Angeles Thursday.
Yeah, and then I leave.
And then so we're
Friday's
yeah,
up in the air right
Friday-
now. I'm down to do it.
Yeah,
It's up in the air.
I'll have to figure out how to.
I was just looking at
remotely patch the two of you in.
I was just looking at the calendar.
Which
Yeah,
is
Monday,
doable. It's doable.
Monday through Thursday, we're both in Los Angeles, so the show is normal this week. Our
Might not
free
be as pretty.
free Twitch Friday might be from Idaho and Texas because I have to go to Texas to
And
do
LA.
a Sirius XM event. Spots in LA, Covino's in Idaho. So maybe we try a 3-location
I can do
free
it.
Twitch Friday.
I'll have to figure it out. I'll have
But
to
Monday through
reconfigure
Thursday,
and everything.
it's a
We're all
normal.
good.
It's a normal week.
So let's have a fun
Catch
week.
up on the Behind the Velvet Ropes.
Yeah.
I encourage you. If you haven't tried it, try Tier 2. If you're listening, try Tier 2 and watch some of the videos. If anything, our fight night hang was us for 3 hours just bullshitting, and we got drunk and high and watched boxing. It was fun.
Ghost of a Ghoul.
And our
Ghost
Fox
of a
Sports
Goal.
radio show available. The podcast is on our Twitter at Covino and Rich. The show continues at Covino and Rich. Thank you guys for everything.
All right, later. Have a good one. Arrivederci, baby.
See you in the promised land.
Goodbye.